If I get caught up in the moment, then I don't know if I'll play my best game.
I believe I'm going to win this every single year. I haven't yet, so I've been wrong.
The first place prize of almost $7.7 million looms large. The pressure's mounting. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the 2015 World Series of Poker Main Event telecast presented by DraftKings. It was once a sea of players, now just a steady stream outside the Amazon room.
Day 5, baby. Another day, another dollar.
Day 5, all day, every day.
Day 5. It's moving day.
Well, I don't know what day it is.
I'm sitting next to Antonio. I'm going to bust him today.
A little bravado to start the day. Brandon Fishman calling a shot.
Joe Namath, Mark Messier, no doubt Brandon Fishman, just another in a long line of great athletes who live up to the hype.
Max Steinberg used to be a force in the poker world, then he found daily fantasy sports.
Apparently poker players are like running backs, a few years of greatness, and then poof, they're playing daily fantasy in chambray shirts.
Lily Newhouse is a local pro making a name for herself.
Hey Lily, hustle up. Day 5 is about to start. Turn that stroll into a jog and kick some testosterone butt.
Daniel Negreanu continues to hold court at the featured table.
Daniel isn't holding court, his beard is. It's magnificent. It might knock out Antonio Esfandiari today all by itself.
Joe McKeon holds the top spot on the leaderboard. Online pro Apeshka de Silva sits in second.
A lot of Americans in that top 10, and they say our country is in decline. I say look at that leaderboard, then look me in the eye and tell me we're not still a superpower.
Most of my table's been pretty good. We haven't had a lot of wasting time tanking. Like some for Doc Sands. Before he looks at his cards, 45 seconds.
Yeah. There's a lot of people doing that now.
A couple like that yesterday.
A ton.
Oh, brother, hurry up. Sometimes you get 7 deuce, you can just fold, right? What do you have to?
Everybody gets dealt 7 deuce.
Hum and ha. Like, ooh, what do I do?
A common rant of Negreanu and many others. He's been on top of his game lately. He's got the second biggest stack at this table.
Yeah, but the biggest stack, Chad Power, is directly to his left, so we should see some small ball from Kid Poker.
Sal DiCarlo cuts an imposing red figure in seat 9.
The 33-year-old Las Vegas pro is an NBA 2K savant, but that won't help him much here.
Chad Power, the chip leader at this table, another Maryland poker pro.
Yeah, and one of his roommates, Chris Brand, also alive deep in this main event.
Under the gun, French poker pro Damien Lameau raised it up with pocket trays.
He's a poker pro and a pianist.
On the button is Chad Power with pocket jacks. This is his first main event cash. He just calls. Pocket jacks, never a raising hand. Why are they in the deck?
Lameau, a big fan of Chopin. Hey, who isn't? I played the piano for 7 years, but I've got to tell you, too many keys.
Lameau's favorite player is Phil Hellmuth. Power is friends with Phil Hellmuth. 5-4-10.
The thing about Chopin, he wrote concertos, sonatas, waltzes, preludes. Poker players should take note there's more to poker than just no-limit hold'em. Play Omaha, stud, deuce to 7.
And they both check.
When a good player checks the flop there, he's tricky. When I do it, they say I don't know what I'm doing.
But you don't know what you're doing.
They don't have to say it.
Lameau's open-ended now.
Ooh, 1,000.
That's funny.
Lameau checks again.
Home out here again?
I do, yeah.
Power looking at all undercards on the board, now reaching for chips. 30,000, less than a third of the pot.
Lameau definitely getting the right price to call here, 4.5 to 1. And if he hits his hand, he might get paid off. Plus, if Lameau knew Power had pocket jacks, he'd keep playing because pocket jacks always find a way to lose.
Lameau with the World Series final table to his credit with the call. He was getting 4.5 to 1. The jacks are begging to be beat. I rest my case.
Power slow played his jacks into a river disaster.
Action on Lameau, who rivers the set of trays.
Oh, a modified Ushka look from Lameau.
He checks it to Power. 26-year-old Maryland pro, chips in hand. That's 70,000 and a quick call.
That is 70,000. We have a call.
Pocket jacks lose the hand. The 7 deuce of Scott Schwalick would have beaten the pocket jacks. Power, though, still with a strong stack here.
You know, at the end of Chopin's brilliant cello sonata in G minor, I believe somebody rivers 3 trays.
Pocket jacks. When will the world learn what we've known for years? Norman, whether it's your kitchen table home game or day 5 of the main event, pocket jacks give everyone trouble. Play them conservatively and perhaps you meet the fate of Chad Power. Slow play them and then you get outdrawn. So Norman, what do you do when you look down at pocket jacks?
There are 4 things in life that never end well: Ponzi schemes, arranged marriages, unarranged marriages, and pocket jacks. If Columbus were holding pocket jacks on the Santa Maria, he never accidentally discovers the New World. If Neil Armstrong were holding pocket jacks when he walked on the moon, he slips and tears an ACL. So you want to know what I do when I look down at pocket jacks? I think about eloping with some dame who's come up with the perfect Ponzi scheme.
Trademark pending.
Walk?
No.
Please.
No.
All right. Do what you do.
You begged so much. I normally don't, but I'm going to raise you.
In the small blind.
Make it 40,000.
With the pocket jacks, a raise from Daniel.
To send a
How
message.
much is this?
I am not. It's about 1.3. Are you going to put it all in right now?
Hold on, let me look.
Look at your cards before you do something silly. Look, I had a pair. I can't fold.
Get it.
I mean, he raised, I would have folded, but.
I could have beat that. I had king queen. Suited and everything.
You lie more than I do.
Oh, I knew you had it there.
The jacks.
Did I say king? I meant 1 queen. That's the truth.
Well, Daniel never gave the pocket jacks a chance to be beaten. To an outer table, Dan O'Brien, one of the many poker pros with a Wall Street background.
Great player. University of Maryland grad, though, because of poker. One semester he barely survived with a 1.6 GPA.
O'Brien just 4-bet shoved with pocket jacks and was called by John Dungan with ace king. Dan with no choice based on that tiny chip stack.
I want to know who to tip, Max.
O'Brien at risk. Good flop for Dan, all undercards to his jacks.
Pocket jacks trying to buck the odds and win from ahead.
I need Waxman to sweat me. Waxman, I need you to sweat me. You're lucky.
Turn card is a 7. O'Brien's still good. Straight draw on board.
Ace or king knocks out O'Brien.
He's got like a 90% favorite. Put a 5, put a 5.
The river.
Just chop it.
Another 6 and O'Brien doubles up.
Waxman, we held, kid. I was rooting for you. I'm sorry about that.
It's all right. Like I said, I run bad at all ends.
Already with the complaining. It's only number 1 today.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
He occasionally does poker commentary, Lon. I've got to keep an eye on him.
No doubt.
Started off great.
The current payout right now is over $40,000. Every step up that pay ladder influences play more and more. On the right, Antonio Esfandiari leads the 3-way action after flopping a pair of jacks. On the left, Chris Bullock bet $25,000 with ace high. Charles Hansen called with a gut shot. Now back to Antonio.
There are 2 kinds of people in this world, those who love Antonio's glasses and those who don't. You can guess which camp I'm in.
Antonio all in for $141,000. He gets 1 fold.
Hansen, a South Dakota sales executive.
What are you playing, Antonio, about 200, 140?
Hansen doesn't have much of a hand.
Don't do it, Doc. Come on, man. I need diaper money. Take it easy.
If you knock him out, we have to go back to the regular table.
Yeah, but they're
Yeah, think of that, man. You need airtime. That people at home want to see you, man.
But think about this though. I can text at the regular table. I can't text here.
That's true.
I can drink water at the regular table. I can't have my
But would
water
you rather
here.
text or hang out, man? We're having a good time, Doc.
I know. We played the little draw.
Yeah.
I know. I'll tell you what. I got a big hand, but I'll go away.
Wow.
Antonio survives again.
But I wasn't a draw. You didn't want me to hit.
Doc, can I request one of those too? Can I request?
Antonio's been crawling through the sewer pipes to stick around this main event. Just can't find daylight.
No, but I will tell you, I was on a draw. I had a gut shot. I needed a 10 to hit, and then I had the best hand.
And then you had to.
Otherwise, I was drawn.
I wanted you to call then.
Otherwise, I was drawn. I know you did. That's why.
Antonio scratching and clawing.
I still wouldn't.
Back in Las Vegas, every year around this time, players begin to really focus on the November 9. A few days ago, 6,420 players bought into the main event, down to just 213 now. 1993 main event champ Jim Bechtel still in the hunt.
When he won the main event 22 years ago, there were only 231 entries. Jim is entering his comfort zone now.
He's ahead here with queens after raising all in on the flop against the ace-king of Dusty Nelson, a part-time pro from Tallahassee, Florida.
Bechtel, 63-year-old old-school purveyor. Yo, Dusty, when they're over 60, they always have it. Just a rule in poker, best to learn it early.
Nelson gives it up. That would have been for half his stack.
Bechtel also finished 6th in the inaugural 50K horse in 2006, won by Chip Reese.
You see Jim up to 829,000, increasing his stack by a third. Back to the featured table now. French pro Damien Lameau under the gun with ace-king off, a raise to 34,000. Chris Horder, the short stack at this table, folds to Sal DiCarlo. DiCarlo with pocket jacks.
That's a shock of red.
Born in St. Louis, lives in Vegas now, does this pro who has won World Series of Poker final table.
It's 1,000 degrees here in Vegas. It's about 1,000 miles to Kansas City, but Sal DiCarlo is a diehard.
And with the jacks, he's going to re-raise to 72,000.
What if I was from Ohio?
Totally different read, bro.
Folded around to Scott Schwalek, the big blind with pocket sevens. Food for thought.
An accountant and former pro. He was 14th in the 2011 main event. Food for thought when it's 3-bet before you. Pocket sevens seldom are good.
So back to Lameau now with ace-king off.
Ace-king is a drawing hand, so you're drawn to a big pair. But you don't even have a pair yet. It's like calling home to tell someone you just had a nice job interview, but you don't have the job yet. There's a big difference.
Wow, but he is reaching. Pro on pro here. Lameau looks like he wants to re-pop it. He does to 197,000.
Okay, now will the Lon McCarron Memorial hand 5-betted here?
DiCarlo has Lameau covered by almost 100,000. And there it is. He does raise Lameau all in. And Lameau calls. He's at risk.
If they're a Chiefs fan, they always have it. Best to learn that early.
So ace-king trying to run down the pocket jacks for a double up. Almost 90% of DiCarlo's stack is at risk.
So Lameau was all in for 628,000, almost 40 big blinds with ace-king.
There's the flop. 2 diamonds there. Ace-king still behind.
Now, come to think of it, I have a problem with just about any hand I'm dealt, Lon, so ignore me in regard to the ace-king. I hate all hands.
Lameau looking for help, and that's a little help. He picks up a wheel draw.
Yeah, find a brick. Find a brick.
Like a 4?
You want to see pain?
Like a low card, like a 4?
No.
Lameau looking for an ace-king or 4.
It's a 7. DiCarlo wins it. Lameau is out of the main event.
Yeah, boy! Flavor Flav!
By the way, Damien Lameau is still sitting over there, and we're going to need that seat for someone else.
Almost a full double up for DiCarlo. Lameau's first cash in 5 main event tries. Pocket jacks are 3-1 so far tonight, but trust us, that is a rare occurrence. And she will try to make Chin pay for playing pocket jacks.
Pocket jacks, you can't win with. Pocket jacks never win, Lon. Here he's going to play pocket jacks, which of course have no chance. Jacks always lose. Let's move on. Pocket jacks find yet another way to lose chips.
And the pocket jacks put another notch in their book.
Karen with the Lon McCarron Memorial hand. The Lon McCarron Memorial hand. The Lon McCarron Memorial hand. We should start playing taps for the Lon McCarron Memorial hand.
Isn't that true? And Smith looks down at pocket jacks.
He should insta-fold or take 12 minutes to call. Everyone knows Wild Bill Hickok was holding aces and eights when he was shot to death, but he was playing pocket jacks 5 months earlier when he decided to get married. Playing pocket jacks, that's a mistake. Amazingly, pocket jacks have never been the final losing hand at the main event, but in 1975, Sailor Roberts won the main event with pocket jacks against Bob Hooks.
Daniel Negreanu with pocket nines and a raise to 35,000.
Here he comes again.
Donald Blum, 52-year-old medical engineer with king jack. He'll fold him.
A little change of mind.
Schwalek folds to the button. Omri Moga with pocket fours, 30-year-old Israeli-born Toronto resident.
He studied journalism at Concordia University in Montreal. I believe they are the Boilermakers.
He acts as a host at a poker club. He calls small blind Chris Horder with ace-queen.
He attended Bucks County Community College near Philadelphia. I believe they are also the Boilermakers.
He's living in New Jersey now to play online poker.
All in.
And Horder, one of the short stacks here, says all in for 270.
Ace-queen, of course, a kissing cousin of pocket jacks. It never wins.
And the big blind is DiCarlo A tray into the muck. And Daniel, the original raiser with the pocket nines, counting out at least a call.
Pay.
There it is, the call. Moga with the fours.
And the other guy folds. And you've
He's
got
right.
good cards. Okay, it's one of those races.
All right.
The classic confrontation. 270 he's got, yeah? Hopefully I don't have to pay it. It just comes back here. Nines have been running, huh? Haven't they?
Have they?
I don't know. Well, they were against you the first hand. They're due or they're running? I don't know.
He's
I
right
would have done
about
the
that.
same thing with your hand. It's a good cards, right?
I like my
Ace
hand.
and a queen. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Forget about it.
Whatever happens, happens.
All right, here's the flop. Hoarder at risk, and he finds a queen. Moga sees a 4 come on the flop.
What do we have for backdoors? Nothing. Just needs to come a 9.
Deuce of clubs.
Club. That doesn't change anything.
At least
If
you have the
got
9
one.
of clubs.
Right.
You got
See?
2 live
Doesn't
nines.
change anything.
And another club.
Flush.
Flush over flush. Moga would have lost.
That's unlikely. You make a flush with the 9s.
I flopped a set, yeah, I would have lost.
Wow.
Hoarder with the double up. When you're stacked, you can afford to race. Daniel takes a hit, but is still over $1 million. Welcome back to the 2015 World Series of Poker Main Event telecast presented by DraftKings. He's not the force he once was, but men win used to be feared in tournaments. He's gone in 211th place.
A 7-time bracelet winner, and this is his 84th World Series cash. That's 3rd all time.
Mark Kroon still has a big stack here on day 5.
In 2013, he had a big stack on day 3, and he punted it into the desert night, but Phil Hellmuth is coaching him this year.
Lily Newhouse's chip stack heading in the wrong direction.
She once was a magazine editor. Hey, who reads magazines anymore? But trust me, she'll have chips again.
Meanwhile, medical malpractice attorney Kelly Minkin is well over $1 million.
Well, she's been taking advantage of someone's poker malpractice.
Let's get back to the featured table. New player joining that group with 1.4 million chips, a Dutch real estate agent living in Spain. His name is Marco van Opzeeland.
You're not from around here. Where are you from?
Exactly.
Huh?
I'm originally from Amsterdam.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You had that Amsterdam thing going.
Yep.
You ever see Goldfinger? Or what was it? Was it Goldmember? Goldfinger? Austin
Can be,
Powers?
According to my accent. You're not the first one to tell me that I have an
No, I
Austin
figured
Powers
that, yeah.
accent.
You got the Austin
Exactly.
Powers thing going.
That's true.
Is it Goldfinger? What's his name?
Gold
I've
member.
never seen the
Goldmember.
film, but
Goldmember,
they spoke
that's
a lot
right.
about it, yeah?
Goldmember.
All right, maybe Gold Member was the parody.
The parody is Goldmember. The real movie was Goldfinger. There was an actual James Bond movie called Goldfinger.
Folded to Moga, ace 9.
Odd fact about Moga, he's never been to a matinee.
He raises to 35,000. Fairly typical table in the room right now. Stacks ranging from over 100 big blinds down to 11. Big swings happen here on day 5.
For what it's worth, I think Von Opzeeland looks like Yul Brenner.
Good point. Negreanu with king 10 off will come along from the big blind. Heads up. Moga and Negreanu. The flop brings top pair for Moga, a Broadway draw for Daniel, who checks.
Moga born in Israel. His family moved to Montreal when he was 5, so he said, what the heck, I probably should go with them.
He mostly plays cash games.
Much?
This is his
30,000?
second main event. He bets 30,000.
Raise.
And Daniel's going to raise it up with the draw to 85,000.
Well, Daniel repping a big hand. If I'm Moga, that check raise would make me think I might be drawn thin here if Daniel has like ace-king or ace-queen or ace-4.
Moga with that ace. And Daniel now knows the continuation bet was not an empty gesture. Turn card now, tray of hearts, 3 hearts out there.
Daniel might put Moga on a flush draw. Plus, Daniel has no hand.
He checks again. Moga says no more check raises for you, Kid Poker. River card is a 7, so Moga is best. Daniel, though, reaching for chips. Oh, greener with 25K each, almost a pot-sized wager, 225.
Boy, check raise on the flop, check the turn, bet the river. If I'm Moga, I don't know what I'd do here. I do know I would take off the shades and maybe try to stare into Daniel's vegan soul for insight.
Well, he knows Daniel doesn't have the nut flush because Moga has the ace of hearts. He's got a pair of aces.
Daniel with the river bluff.
Moga gives up the best hand.
Ace 4.
I did not have ace 4.
You had squad deuce with a side of avocado.
Daniel's bluff earns him that big pot against Omri Moga. Here's Phil Locke now on how Moga played that hand.
World Series of Poker 2015, day 5. Oh, this, well, I've been running a little cold lately, so I thought this would help. What we have here between Moga and Negreanu is basically an interesting hand. Raise with ace 9 standard, king 10 standard with the defend. The check raise, a little unorthodox, and Negreanu's thinking, hey, I'll just win the pot here. He could have anything. He could have 4 or 5, you know? But it doesn't work. Take the free card. Now, Moga takes the free card as well. He's thinking, now if I can get a heart or a 9, I'll have a lock in the hand. But actually, the way this hand plays check on the turn, when Negreanu bets the river, I think Moga's supposed to call here. It's a place to just call. It's not like it's costing you a ton of your chips, and you're playing a guy who can bluff there. I think I would call.
I think Phil is doing an absolutely fantastic job by himself. Antonio, stick to what you do best, getting it in bad.
He's doing that very well. Back to the featured table. Von Opzalen with the raise at 37,000 with ace-king off. Folded to the small blind. Chad Power with pocket jacks again.
Cool.
He's the only player that has Marco covered. He calls.
Von Opzalen was knocked out of the main event last year, 50 from the money by former pro Phil Ivey.
Jacks against ace-king. Here it is. Heads up, and not only will pocket jacks get out flopped by top pair, they'll tease you with a straight draw. Power checks.
Von Opzalen, Dutch-born, but moved to Spain 10 years ago. As you mentioned, he's a real estate agent, and they have real estate in Spain.
I got a couple of cards from him, too, for us. Yeah, 60,000 with the pair of kings for Von Opzalen.
Power has the blockers to the straight. If Von Opzalen doesn't have a king, pocket jacks could still be good here.
But he does, and they're not. 60,000 with the call. Turn card, tray of spades, no change.
Check.
A check once again from Power.
Check.
And a check back from Von Opzalen. River card, 5 of spades.
Check.
Another check. A bet of 105 now.
Well, that was a sneaky check on the turn by Yul Brynner. If he had bet the turn, Power might go away, but by checking there, maybe Power thinking about calling the river.
Just gonna pay it off, I guess.
He feels obligated to call.
Oh.
And the jacks stick it to Chad again. Von Opzalen now with 102 big blinds, the chip leader at this table.
Thank you. Ship it.
Ship it.
Power still with a healthy stack.
Day 5, pocket jacks, Chad Power, not a recipe for success. First they went down to pocket trays. Then they lose to ace-king. Time to muck them pre-flop, Chad. Trust us. Day 5 of the main event. 67 other World Series tournaments came before, but this is what everyone talks about. 29-year-old poker pro Justin Bonomo weaving his way through this stacked field.
He's a bracelet winner, and he's never had a job. Why? Well, he knows what he's doing on the felt.
This year for the main event, I've just tried to remain super focused and calm. I've been meditating before I play every day. I'm trying not to think too far ahead. I'm just playing the cards in front of me and taking it very easy.
What about your cards? $1 billion. That's a big number.
I never go into a day of poker and say, this is how I'm gonna play. If I don't know the players, I'm gonna figure out how they play and then adjust accordingly. I can play any different style there is, and I'll just figure out which one I think is the best.
You know what they say, short stacks never come back.
I do a lot of assessing before I even sit down at the table. I always research all my players. I look them up online. I ask my friends if they've played with them before. And if I don't know who they are, usually it'll take me about maybe 15, 20 minutes to figure out how they play. Honestly, sometimes I can just look at a player and just make a pretty good guess at what I think they're gonna do.
Well, Justin made the right read on Carlos Gonzalez, who 5-bet all in with ace-9. Justin has him in bad shape, holding ace-king.
All in for nearly $1.3 million with ace-9 off? Why not just donate your chips to Greenpeace? It's a better cause.
Similar chip stacks, Bonomo has him covered. Ace, deuce, deuce, aces up for each. Justin's kicker still plays.
Bonomo in for almost all his chips, so if he takes a bad beat here, he'll be all but gone.
Turn card. 10 of spades. The Mexican architect still looking for a helper card.
With a river ace or deuce, they would chop it with a 9. Gonzalez wins it all, otherwise he's done.
It's an 8 of hearts. Gonzalez comes up short, ending his main event run.
And Bonomo with an almost double up.
Absolutely, the 2 even stacks really give Bonomo a surge. He's up to almost 2.7 million for Gonzalez. He will take 201st place and 40 grand for the amateur. Well played, sir.
He's an architect. They don't know from ace-9.
Gonzalez will head for the payout cage, while Bonomo is all smiles. You might have seen on his bio board, Justin attended University of Maryland for a semester. Norman, you had an affiliation with the Terps, right?
The University of Maryland, Lon, is the Oxford of poker, the Harvard of Hold'em. There are 2 types of on-campus housing in College Park, no-limit dormitories and pot-limit dormitories. I was asked to live off campus.
Christian Harder's not a Terp, but from Maryland. He opened shove with King-Jack of hearts, and now he could have Maryland on Maryland violence with ace-queen. Bonomo calls.
Harder's a smart guy, but he usually is on a smartphone between every hand. I don't think that's too smart. I tell him he should relax or observe his surroundings.
Action behind Bonomo now. Max Steinberg folds the button. Joe Fox in the small blind looks down at King Trey. He gets rid of it. And the big blind, Antonio Payne. 10-7.
Big final. Like 3 million? What do you got? 4?
He's asking for a count. Payne having fun with him.
Harder loves to cook and loves to cash in the main event, but he's in trouble here. The Annapolis guy versus the UMD dropout, an all-Maryland showdown.
At this point, Harder says, well, I've got live cards. He is at risk. Here is the flop. A queen for Bonomo, digging a deeper hole for Harder.
Harder now needs a lot of help.
Turn card is a Trey. That is no help.
At the University of Maryland, this is exactly how we sit and wait for our quantum chemistry exam results.
7 of hearts on the river. Christian Harder's stay at the main event has come to an end. Bonomo over 2.8 million.
Bonomo's really chipping up. And for Christian Harder, his 5th main event cash in 6 years. Well done.
Harder made a World Series final table this year. Goes out 196th here in the main. Everything going right for Justin Bonomo. He knocks out Gonzalez. Then he knocks out Christian Harder. He's got a huge stack on this pivotal day 5.
The best poker content on the internet.
Your super high roller bowl 7 champion.
Oh yeah!
Wheels are coming off.
That's the craziest hand I've ever seen. What was that bite?
Go to get.pokergo.com/YT24 for $20 off a new annual subscription.
Welcome back to the 2015 World Series of Poker main event telecast presented by DraftKings. Lon McCarron with Norman Chad and Kara Scott. At an outer table, we get another look at Mark Kroon, the bar owner in Wisconsin, who's getting coached by the poker brat.
Yeah, when the brat busted from the main event, he texted Kroon and asked if he wanted Phil to stick around and help. Who would turn down free coaching from Helmuth other than every online hotshot?
Kroon just saw Alan Wentz raise to $33,000. Wentz, an Ohio insurance agent with the red hat with pocket tens. Kroon calls with king 9 off.
Kroon with a WSOP circuit ring, and he's bowled a 300 game. Not too many can say that.
2 top stacks at this table. A set for Wentz. Kroon comes up empty. Check from Kroon, a check from Wentz. Turn card now, and now it's 10s full for Wentz.
I feel like I'm landing set up for slaughter, dude. 44.
He's going to bet 44,000.
Well, one of Kroon's buddies says Mark plays like he's always trying to bust himself. Here's example A.
Wentz, a big Ohio State fan, has a dog named Braxton for OSU star Braxton Miller. And he raises to 105.
Normal folks would fold right here. Kroon isn't normal. Wentz owns his own insurance agency, does not need to take out insurance on this hand.
He does not. And Kroon wearing a shirt, what would Phil do? And he's doing the opposite, as we've seen most of the time, as he re-raises to 221.
Ah,
wow.
Kroon's re-raise looks a tad silly, but there are definitely some hands Wentz would fold. Pocket tens just isn't one of them.
And there is the call, so all the chips for now in the middle, and they'll see a river card. Nothing is going to help Mark Kroon at this point, 4 of clubs.
Boy, for his sake, I hope Kroon has given up.
He does check.
I check.
And a check back.
Good.
Yeah, Kroon couldn't have beaten 2 cards out of an Uno deck right now.
Another bluff gone bad by Mark Kroon.
Ace 8, that'd be my luck.
For Kroon, that pitch was just a bit outside.
He drops below 1.9 million. Nice try. He's no longer top dog here. Wentz now is the big stack.
By the way, how did Wentz check the river? He might be a Norman Chad School of Poker dropout.
Or valedictorian.
Good for you.
The average stack right now over 1 million with 186 players remaining. You see Joe McKeon is still the chip leader. Let's get back to Justin Bonomo with the board complete. He has jacks up, top kicker. Max Steinberg on the left is best with his kings up, but it was the other guy, Joe Fox, who bluffed at it. Bonomo is going to come along.
Steinberg looks like he's ready to eject himself from his seat.
What is going on here?
Well, Fox bet a busted draw. Bonomo called with jacks up. Steinberg wondering if kings up could be good here. He'd be getting better than 3.5 to 1 on a call. Fox politely waiting to see if 1 or 2 people beat him. For Max, this would be an overcall, calling after someone else already has, and it's usually a loser.
The 3 top stacks at this table. Max had almost 1.9 million to start. Fox with almost 1.3 million. And there is the call. And Steinberg will take this pot of over 1 million.
Yeah, Bonomo might regret not raising in that spot, and Steinberg makes a very good overcall.
Three-way action can be tricky. Steinberg didn't rush it and made the correct call for the nice pot. Bonomo still healthy with 149 bigs.
You can't win them all, kid. Though he did win a bracelet in 2012, Steinberg also has won a bracelet.
Well-groomed, well-dressed, well-played by Max Steinberg. Just a good all-around guy.
He not only has his own fantasy advice website, Max earned his main event seat by winning a DraftKings NBA Daily Fantasy Contest. Hey, if DeMarcus Cousins doesn't have a great game for the Sacramento Kings, Steinberg might not even be here.
Back at that table, Justin Bonomo smiling after making an easy call with pocket aces. Another one of your Maryland clan, Dan O'Brien, short stack shoved with queens.
Guys, I never win these. Oh, it's so sick. I never win these.
You're gonna grab your jacket in your bag.
My luck is so awful. I can't believe this.
And all University of Maryland all in. The land of pleasant living has migrated to Las Vegas.
O'Brien using all the tricks he can think of all in.
Can you believe it? Yet.
There's the flop. And that is 3 diamonds. Neither holds a diamond. But he wouldn't mind 2 more. 4 of spades.
O'Brien has to have a queen.
River's a 5. O'Brien comes up short. Done in by Bonomo. Bonomo back in the lead at this table, one of the biggest in the room.
Dan O'Brien, a terrific player, still without a World Series bracelet.
His only other main event cash came in 06, his first World Series cash. Dan O'Brien out at 186th. So that pro was out. This pro, Antonio Esfandiari, just open raised all in with 9-7 offsuit, and it looks like he got called.
Yeah. Antonio, not even a 2-to-1 dog here. Piece of cake for him.
In the red main event, first-timer Randy Klinger called with ace-queen from the small blind. The big blind gives way. Antonio at it again.
He raised all in with 9-7 off. How many big blinds did he have left?
He had 14.
What a donkey Esfandiari is.
Klinger, a 45-year-old fitness club owner from Ohio. He has Antonio Esfandiari all in and way behind. Jack, king, deuce. No help for Antonio.
Klinger, a retired school teacher. Esfandiari, a retired magician and miracle worker.
And now the turn card. Antonio turns the table, pairing his 9.
Come on, 10, ace, queen, 10, ace, queen. 10, ace, queen.
It's a 6. Yeah! He survives again.
Did I say Antonio's a retired miracle worker? I misspoke again.
He should be embarrassed. And that was a pretty decent chunk of Klinger's stack. How does Antonio do it?
How does he do it? Gets it in bad and gets out good.
Over $500,000 now for the magician.
It's my favorite hand, the Persian carpet ride. What can I do?
Antonio might have cracked the main event code. Just get it in bad and reap the rewards. Back in the Amazon room, Lon McCarron with Norman Chad and Kara Scott. Charles Hanson saying goodbye in 176th place.
The Sioux Falls, South Dakota Coca-Cola sales executive with his second main event cash. Life tastes good.
How Antonio's outlasted anybody at that table? Beyond me. Back at Justin Bonomo's table is our caffeine-free pro, Jay Kim, who's now at risk with ace-queen, trying to be the one to beat Max Steinberg's pocket jacks. I guess one of these hands has to win, Norman.
Well, Kim's hand has got to win for him to stick around. He started the hand with 39 big blinds, 30-year-old pro living in Seoul, South Korea.
Kim flops a queen, but Steinberg a set of jacks. That's how you play pocket jacks. Turn card 8 of spades. Jay Kim drawing dead, knocked out of the main event by Max Steinberg.
Now he played well. He handled himself well. I hope he kicks the coffee habit.
He's a good player and a good table mate. His first World Series cash worth over $40,000. He says his goodbyes. Max Steinberg adds $1 million to his total, approaching $4 million. He's the main event chip leader. All right, let's get it down now to Kara Scott for more on Max Steinberg.
American Poker Pro and bracelet winner Max Steinberg has been here before. In 2013, he was near the top of the leaderboard for days 3 and 4, even knocking out Phil Ivey in a set-over-set situation before eventually busting out in 131st place. And here he is again, looking very comfortable under the lights.
How does a fantasy sports guy have all these chips? Fantasy sports and reality poker are two different games.
This is where the action is, so keep the cameras rolling. Bonomo raises it up with 10-9 of hearts to 50,000. Blinds are 10 and 20,000 now. Lily Newhouse with pocket trays.
She's getting married next July to fellow Las Vegas poker grinder Steve Torrance. As a rule, I officiate all poker marriages these days, so I'll see her there.
Ironically, you have a good record in that department.
Thank you.
Call now. Steinberg in the small blind, Jack 10.
Steinberg is single with a dog and a life coach.
He'll sit this one out. Joe Fox in the big blind.
Fox was going to join the Marine Reserve in 1985 and on his way to a military processing center. While at a stoplight, he decided to get married. Good decision. He and his wife, Lauren, just celebrated their 30th anniversary.
Looks like Fox wants to get involved with these pros again. The amateur makes the call.
Bonomo, incidentally, says he's polyamorous. I'm not sure what that is, but I think it means he's not getting married unless he moves to Utah.
Fox flops top pair. Bonomo bottom pair with a gut shot. Newhouse left with those tiny trays. Fox checks.
Bonomo, no hoodie, no sunglasses. He's an old man trapped inside of a young man's body.
He checks.
Okay, she needs to be thinking wedding registry right now, not betting at this pot.
She does check it as well. All right, turn card now is a 10, and Bonomo jumps way ahead with 2 pair now.
Anybody with a jack would have a straight right now. Nobody has a jack.
Fox, though, betting 75,000.
Top pair is a decent hand, but not with that board. By the way, polyamorous just sounds like an excuse not to commit. What a ruse by Bonomo.
Fox has not had a lot of success betting into the pros. Bonomo does come along, but Lily will sit it out. So Bonomo with the advantage going to the river. River card is another 10, and Justin with 10s full.
At this point, no one should enter a pot with Bonomo or Steinberg.
And here comes Fox again, 100 grand.
Bonomo doesn't have the nuts, but it sure feels like the nuts. He's hoping Fox has a straight and will have to call his raise.
How much will Justin make it here?
400,000.
He's going to test the amateur for 400,000 total.
Fox's hand really doesn't stand well to a raise.
Justin loves what he's seeing. Fox counting out a call.
Well, Fox puts the sunglasses away. That's a good start. Now he has to put the calling chips away, or at least back into his stack.
Wow, he makes that call. What a bonus for Justin Bonomo.
Wow. How good are you running right now?
Justin Bonomo on a heater.
Steer clear of Justin Bonomo. Fox delivered a big blow as he is cut down to just 10 big blinds, while Justin, thanks to Joe Fox, climbs over 3.4 million.
Bonomo means good man, not Bonomo means good man.
That's what I said.
Yeah, but actually you destroy him.
Oh, you're saying I'm a bad person after that hand?
No, that I'm joking. Nice man.
I paid $10,000. I can play my cards however I want.
I'm joking.
Federico Buonarroti having some fun with Justin Bonomo. While his Italian sarcasm detector might be a bit off, Justin's ability to read and hit hands are spot on. His stock continues to rise. Ah, the Rio Buffet, where big stacks can feast on big fish. The big stack at our featured table right now belongs to that man, Pesh De Silva, from Sri Lanka, originally living in Houston. He's got almost 2.9 million.
Kind of looks like a spaceship, huh? You sucked into the portal. You guys believe in aliens? Huh?
Yeah.
Like, what are the chances that we're the only ones? How arrogant do we have to be to think we're the only planet in the universe with life on it?
I think I've actually met a few.
It's impossible.
Not many people think
it's impossible for us to be the only ones. It just
I might even be related to a few.
The universe is too big.
They're here too. They're chilling in Area 51, hanging out. They are. You guys know it.
Area 51's got a great Applebee's.
Short stack Donald Blum folds under the gun. Marco von Abzelen with King
They're
Jack.
scared of us because we crazy.
He's going to raise it to 45,000.
Like we gotta watch these people.
Do you think you'll ever meet one or will discover one in your lifetime?
Yeah, I probably have already.
I was downtown Tuesday night, and I know I saw one.
You played with Phil Hellmuth before? What planet do you think he's from? Not this one. Come on. Yeah, it's clear. He's not from around here.
De Silva on the button.
I like Phil.
Yeah, I like him too. I like aliens.
He folds to Negreanu in the small blind with small cards. But they are paired. And he calls. Chad Power in the big blind with a big pair.
And Power might squeeze right here and watch everyone take off for Area 51.
Nope, gonna keep it cheap. All right. King Jack against deuces and queens. Here's the flop. And Negreanu scores again. His set of deuces is crushing. He checks. Power checks. And now Marco with King Jack and that ace on board is going to bet 76,000.
Yeah, if Power had made a big 3-bet pre-flop, the hand might be over, but he played it differently, which is fine. And now his participation in the hand is probably over.
Negreanu going for the check raise. Yeah, to 176. Power gets out of the way. Daniel would love it if Abzelen had an ace.
In the old days, you take a stab at the pot, you get raised, you release your cards. I pine for the old days.
Von Abzelen does give up his hand. Daniel will take it.
I had good cards.
Good hand, Dan.
Very good cards I had.
Mine were better before the flop.
No, they weren't. Oh, you had a pair?
Do you want a side bet?
Oh, you had a pocket pair.
Do you want a side bet?
No, obviously not if you had a big pocket pair. I didn't have 3 aces. I asked for their help. Thank you.
Thank you to there.
The tall white men, or whatever they call them. Aliens, bro.
You're this game?
Huh?
You're this game?
Better than that.
Elsewhere, with the best hand he's picked up in days, Esfandiari has run his kings into the aces of 61-year-old amateur Neil Blumenfield of San Francisco.
What alien world did this fellow drop in from? Antonio finally with a big hand, but he's behind and all in for the 73rd time at this main event.
All diamonds, neither player has diamonds.
If Antonio can get lucky again here, he's actually going to have a decent stack at last.
Turn card as a jack brings Antonio to the brink of bleakness.
Nice answer. Nice moment, boys. Nice moment. Good luck.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. Antonio packing up to leave, trying to jimmy jam the outcome.
And it is official. On day 5, Antonio Esfandiari is out.
Hey, out. You turn forward.
They finally stamped the last breath out of Antonio. He's a tough out.
In a game where keeping your emotions in check is critical, sometimes emotions boil over.
I paid $10,000. I can play my cards however I want.
But not for long. Kings into aces sent the magician home.
Nice answer. Good luck.
And while Antonio Esfandiari exited the main event, Daniel Negreanu continues on the road towards nearly $7.7 million.
Yeah, boy!
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the World Series of Poker Main Event telecast presented by DraftKings. The possibility of a massive payday beginning to settle in for the remaining 162 players. I'm Lon McCarron with Norman Chad and Kara Scott. Let's get right to work. 2010 Main Event runner-up John Raichner all in with queens, trying to stay alive against the ace-king of recent chip leader Joe McKeon.
Raichner started the hand with 19 big blinds.
Raichner, now 29, began this day with nearly 800,000. Things have not gone his way of late. The flop, deuce 9-6 2 hearts. Raichner still ahead.
Raichner, quite an accomplished World Series performer at 29 years of age. 9 final tables, 35 cashes.
Turn card, 7 of hearts. Raichner thinking that's enough hearts.
So now an ace, king, or heart would knock out John Raichner.
I like what that man said, black 3.
The river card
Red 3.
is not a heart, but the ace of spades is just as bad, sending John Raichner to the rail.
Ace of spades, not the prettiest card in the deck for John Raichner.
Another strong main event showing for Raichner and a payout of nearly 47 grand. McKeon pushing his chip count to more than 4 million now. Daniel Negreanu's stack is starting to sag a bit. It once seemed that every pot he entered, he won, but that hasn't been the case of late. Negreanu beginning to enter the danger zone.
I was going to bet if you didn't.
He's caffeine-free since 2003. It's not working at the moment. Get him a double cappuccino and a Diet Pepsi Max. Stat!
Meanwhile, Mark Kroon continues to heed the advice of the poker brat.
Oh, don't stoke Phil Hellmuth's ego. Kroon might be chip leader if the brat weren't around.
Dave Rapicki goes by Gatorman and Miami Dave, but also short stack.
Born in Cleveland, graduated from Central Texas, lives in Tulsa, and goes by Miami Dave. Go figure.
Lily Newhouse, one of 3 women remaining.
Lily smiles way too much to be a poker pro living in Las Vegas. We need a new research department.
Kelly Minkin, a medical malpractice attorney in Arizona.
I hereby move to ban all lawyers from future main events except Kelly Minkin.
Max Steinberg, the current chip leader, one of 2 players over the 4 million chip mark. Justin Bonomo in 8th.
Steinberg, born in my hometown of Washington, D.C. Bonomo briefly went to college in my home state of Maryland. This is like my home game, shifted to the main event.
Pretty cool. Only 150-some people left. There were 6,420. There were a lot of people to start, and now they're all gone.
I need to bust today, though, because I got stuff to do tomorrow.
You can make that happen.
To Daniel's point, just 2.5% of the field remains in this main event. A familiar face at any featured table, Daniel Kid Poker, but his stack, not that familiar. He's low on chips.
Daniel is the second shortest stack at the table, just under 20 big blinds. I suspect he'll play a little more carefully tonight.
To his left, Maryland's Chad Power.
Chad seems to play every hand cautiously. Time to live up to your name, son. Step it up.
The yellow chip worth 1K, the orange 5,000, and the green worth 25,000. Almost 11.5 million chips on this featured table. The top dog right now is that man, Sri Lankan-born Apeshka De Silva, who goes by Pesh. Action on Omri Moga. Pocket 7s, early position.
30-year-old host at Playground Poker Club in Montreal.
Blinds right now at 12 and 24,000 with a 4K ante. Moga with the 7s raises to 52,000. Chris Horder recently doubled up. We'll sit this one out. Sal DiCarlo, I think he's a Chiefs fan.
I just look at DiCarlo and I am ready for some football.
Are you ready for some poker, Sal? No, he'll fold. Now our chip leader at this table, De Silva with 5-4 of diamonds. He'll make the call with a pipe dream. Daniel with ace-king off. And he says all in for 474,000.
474.
These are 2 Canadians thriving here in Las Vegas. We can't build that border fence soon enough.
Daniel shoved 19 big blinds.
I got good cards. You guys look at me like I'm bluffing. Give me that. There, give me the stare. Yeah, I don't know. I got good cards. That's why I'm in.
How much?
474.
You've got to love Daniel, out there, exposed, talking, no hoodie or shades. You want to read them? Go ahead and read them.
Everybody knows. They all know.
Oh, Moga re-raised all in to isolate Daniel, and Pesh does fold.
Correct for me to cheer for you.
What's that?
But
No pair. Pair of 7s? Wow, really? You thought I was bluffing?
What's wrong with a pair of 7s?
Okay, just got to win a race. Okay, we need an ace or a king, please.
Moga trying to outrun Daniel's run good.
Moga should rub his hands together and say, we need quad 7s, please.
Negreanu at risk. Here is the flop. And Daniel wastes no time in hitting that ace.
Can't be that easy.
But Moga with a flush draw.
You don't see Daniel uneasy this often.
11 outs, 2 times.
He's a bit uneasy here, not ready to exit stage right from this main event.
His whole demeanor changed. It's a heart on the turn.
A 7 or any club knocks out Daniel Negreanu.
This could be it for Kid Poker.
Let's do it.
The river card, the 6 of diamonds, and Daniel with the double up.
Yeah, that was good. All right. Phew, scary.
472.
After paying off Daniel, Moga is left with less than half the stack he started that hand with.
Man, Daniel. Thanks, bud. Oh, that's my first time all in this tournament. It's exciting, but scary.
I would just.
You know, they say fear and excitement are the same emotion, really. The same feeling,
like
anyway.
20 times.
If you walk the halls of the Rio, pros and amateurs alike will spout tales of bad beats, sometimes in several different languages. My aces got cracked, or I never win a race. Well, Daniel Negreanu's small ball style tries to avoid those deadly, risky races. You might not win the biggest pots, but you rarely lose the biggest ones.
That's the problem with races. Someone wins and someone loses. I'm dumb and he's dumber, and we both know not to get into a race. Daniel Negreanu is not dumb or dumber, so of course he knows not to get into a race. Slow and steady wins the day in these parts. You want to race? Go to Daytona International Speedway. You want to run deep in the main event? Step lightly and pack a vegan lunch.
Let's get to an outer table with a small end and a call.
I want to win a showdown today.
Pro Justin Schwartz trying to win the last 5 big blinds of Gatorman David Rapicki. Jacks against Rapicki's 10s. Rapicki collects no draws, no help.
Rapicki, 52-year-old maintenance supervisor, known also as Miami Dave. Maybe he's Miami John Cernuto's cousin.
Ah, could be. Turn card. Schwartz still good after the turn. He got it!
God, look at that, baby. Wow. The Gator Man lives.
A double up.
Y'all back home in Tulsa, Oklahoma. You know I call those river cards all the time, don't you? We got it, baby. Wow. We got it. The Gator Man called it again, didn't he? Tulsa, Oklahoma. Y'all know about it. And all my friends back in Naples, Florida also. I'm a suck out. That's my one time. I will not use it again.
All right, you're still drawing dead to win. It's all good.
Oh, come on, you had your say all day today. Let me have mine.
I'm happy for you. Congratulations.
You're good, brother. Thank you, man.
Good job.
Woo!
Schwartz takes the hit.
I didn't guess it. I seen it. I was using my amazing Kreskin. My inner Stu Unger was coming out with Daniel Negreanu, man. You know.
Well, thank you for the segue, Gatorman. Back to the featured table while we also look at the payout ladder, almost $7.7 million up top.
Okay, 1 for 1 and all in pots. Yay.
Bust out right now worth almost $47,000. DeCarlo folds to Pesh De Silva, the top stack here, King 7 off.
He won a bracelet this year in a no-limit hold'em event with 1,655 entries.
University of Houston grad with a race to 52,000. Negreanu with 2 black aces.
First a double up, now pocket aces. It's good to be Daniel.
Got all this new money. Got to put it to work.
Every time I slow play aces, I'm at 7-Eleven buying a Slurpee within an hour.
That's your first at risk.
What's that? Yeah, first time the whole tournament I've been all in.
Small blind Sohail Khalili with Queen 10 of spades, 29-year-old Israeli pro. He'll make the call. Pocket 6s for the big blind, Marco von Opzeland.
Daniel, of course, hoping someone 3-bets it.
52, right? Yeah.
Just a call, so Daniel's aces and 3 others.
Well, in this 4-way action, pocket aces just 56% to end up with the best hand.
Here is the flop, couple of clubs out there. The aces are holding up. Khalili finished 19th in the event. De Silva won his bracelet in. He checks.
Well, it's a good-looking flop for pocket aces. And Von Opzeland certainly might think his pocket 6s are the best hand here.
Yeah, he's got to like the 6s here, and he is going to bet 120. Now, Pesh De Silva, the chip leader at this table with King 7 off.
Hey, when you're 27 years old, it's not that hard to remember your cards. King 7 off!
Into the muck. Now Negreanu with the aces. It was dancing on that razor's edge, letting 3 others into the pot. Daniel with raising chips. He makes it 320,000. Khalili folds.
320? Von Opzeland's thinking, I was happy with 120.
He's sad now? He's doing sad face?
I'm not happy.
Okay.
Okay, you win.
I had you beat.
I guess
Unless
so.
you had 2 pair, because I didn't have that beat. I had 1 big one.
Good enough.
Aces.
Whoopsie.
I was scared you went all in. I was set. I'm out. Phew.
Nice hand.
Quality
pair.
The best pair. What are you talking about?
It's good to be Daniel.
Best is quality. I wanted you to fold. I didn't know what you had, so just go.
The best poker content on the internet.
Your super high rollerball 7 champion.
Oh, yeah.
Wheels are coming off.
That's the craziest hand I've ever seen. What was that fight?
Go to get.pokergo.com/YT24 for $20 off a new annual subscription.
Welcome back to the World Series of Poker Main Event telecast presented by DraftKings. Day 5 continues. Big money to be made. Fewer than 150 remain. Daniel Negreanu, certainly the headliner at this feature table, but Chad Power right there playing a strong second fiddle. He's a poker pro currently residing in Hanover, Maryland, but with a really unusual living arrangement.
It's like a poker analogy. We're a house, we're a family. You lose the support beam, and the structure's still there, you just can't lose the architect. This is a house of cards. There's a lot of trust that goes in with staking people. You know, that's where I put up all the money and then I get half of whatever they make. So I'd start coaching and staking people. I just enjoyed teaching and having someone to talk to about it. I have about 10 guys that I was staking, and a lot of them just moved into a big old house with me, and that's where we're at now.
All of us play poker for a living. I definitely feel like I've found the keys to the kingdom ever since I moved in here.
What Chad has done here is definitely unique, really well thought out.
Living here is intense. We often sit up for hours talking about poker. I don't know how many hands they want to go over. If we're not sitting up talking about it, we're generally at the casino. And if we're not there, then we're probably sleeping. This is my lovely girlfriend, Samantha. What are we making? It's my favorite dish.
Wow.
He gave me an opportunity, and I'm very happy to be here for it.
It's definitely not a party house.
Just getting our protein shakes in.
Everyone's very dedicated to improving themselves as a poker player.
I've been here for about a year, 10 months.
Nuke 'em, you in? Let's roll.
My game has just improved, just leaps and bounds.
It's a pretty smooth sailing ship.
Do you think your dreams are gonna come true? Oh, they're dreams, you know? You feel like you're gonna chase them forever, and I'm 26, and here I am. I don't know if I realistically thought they would come true, but I was gonna chase it my whole life.
7 residents live in the House of Cards, none older than 33. And when there's an opening, Chad goes through a couple hundred applications. It's easier to get into an Ivy League school.
With Jack 10 offsuit, Chad with a raise to 50,000 from early position. Fold it around to the button, Omri Moga. 8-6 of diamonds.
8-6 suited should not cause this much angst. There are a lot of decisions in life harder than 8-6 suited on the button.
The button will give it up. Small blind. Chris Horter with a weak ace into the muck as well. Big blind Sal DiCarlo. And looks down at a suited ace, ace-8.
Las Vegas pro, used to deliver pizzas and worked briefly in the mortgage business. Now just covers his face in the big blind.
Over $500,000 in live earnings. This is his first main event cash, and he calls for 26,000 more. Heads up against Chad Power. Here is the flop. It is 9-king-4, 2 clubs. DiCarlo with a nut flush draw checks to the gut shot of Power. Chad Power reaching for chips. The original raiser bets 40,000.
I have another name for the continuation bet. I call it the my chips become your chips bet.
How often that is the case. DiCarlo does come along. Turn card now is a queen, and there's the straight for Chad Power. DiCarlo
Been all in yet?
checks again.
Continuation bets are often sound strategy, but it pales next to hitting the nuts on the turn.
Now Chad Power's job is to extract as many chips from DiCarlo as possible. 115,000, that's over half the pot.
Well, Power hoping DiCarlo is drawing dead to the river, so he'd want to call here. And it's actually a pretty good bet from Power, making it tempting for DiCarlo to call with the wrong pot odds.
That almost sounds like you know what you're talking about.
Almost.
There is the call. So getting 3-1 to call, but it was a 4-1 dog. No flush for DiCarlo on the river. And he checks it again.
Actually, Power and I, Alon, both teach bet sizing courses. No one attends mine.
Chad Power already got one call, but that's $500,000. That's asking a lot.
Well, now he overbets the pot, perhaps making it look like a missed flush. But that's what DiCarlo has, and I don't think he's going to hero call here with ace high.
Indeed, no hero for the Chiefs today. Chad Power will take that pot. Very nicely played by the poker teacher.
Yeah, Power's Poker House of Horses, walking distance from Maryland Live Casino where his roommates set up shop.
So Carlos still wondering what Chad was up to, as Chad's stack now is up to over 1.8 million. So as he continues his run here at the featured table, one of his roommates is still in it. That is Chris Brand.
25-year-old with a degree in interdisciplinary business from the College of New Jersey. I didn't even know there were any colleges in New Jersey.
Checking in again with former chip leader Joe McKeon. He rivered queens full against the busted straight draw of Ofer Zvi Stern, a 36-year-old Israeli software engineer. But Stern's going to bluff at it with 385.
As you mentioned, Stern with the missed straight draw, McKeon with the full house. The full house is better.
McKeon with that boat would want to flex some of that muscle, I imagine. He started the hand with 3.4 million. Stern with almost 2.3 million. Big stacks throwing chips around. And here comes the raise to $1,345,000.
I believe we'd have to deal out 6 more complete sets of community cards for Stern to have any chance to have the best hand here.
And he does finally fold. Nice try. So Joe McKeon with some foreign aid from Stern has retaken the main event chip lead. He now sits with nearly $4.5 million. If you look closely, you can see the Rio zip line, but the main attraction these days is the main event. At an outer table, first-timer Luther Tran trying to eliminate short-stacked Curtis Anderson. Anderson shoved with 10 deuce. Tran going for the knockout with ace-queen.
Anderson from Provo, Utah, leaned on the Doyle Brunson, the 10 deuce to try and double up.
Anderson caught a piece of that.
Well, it's not like he flopped quads. He left the door open a little.
He did.
Wow. What a flop.
10-10 tray. Now there's a king. Settle down, Curtis. Luther with a Broadway draw.
Yeah, you don't do the victory dance until you're in the end zone. A jack now would send Anderson packing.
Put a jack out there.
All right, now the river. It's paint, but another king. Anderson doubles with the boat.
Tran's still pretty healthy, but he doesn't like what he sees.
Well, Curtis can proudly stack 389,000 chips now. It's all gravy from here, sir. Well, if you're going to make it far in the main event, you need to survive moments like that. Luther Tran and the other first-timers are finding that out quickly.
I really enjoy playing poker, and I put a lot of work into it, so I try to do my best and win it. I feel good. I'm a little tired, but I'm ready to go.
So you're up or break even?
Yes. I got very lucky yesterday, so I'm really happy right now. I feel very comfortable. No expectations, just play my best game, finish the day with a good stack. We're at day 4 and I'm doing pretty great. At some point your expectations aren't that high anymore, you try to be more realistic. But obviously I'm really happy to be in that spot right now.
I was going to school for engineering until I won $98,000. My parents were hesitant at first, and once I had a few more cashes, they support me fully now. I was at the feature table the second half of the day. It was like a more aggressive table, which is pretty conflicting with what I'm trying to do. But I ended up bagging $1 million. Yeah, I'm very confident with my games, and I feel like I'm a winning player, and I have an edge over other people. I'm so excited. Hopefully I get a good table draw tomorrow.
I'm from Rome. I used to live 2 years in Australia, and I did an experience in Australia to do a normal job. And now I'm a professional poker player. I play poker from when I was 18 years old. I'm so happy, and I really think that I have a big opportunity, and I want to do my best for keep going and go to day 6.
Catching up with Buderoni, he has pocket aces.
You may recall Buderoni from his big day 4 bluff on a busted draw, 25-year-old Italian.
103 grand in live earnings prior to this main event, over 77,000 of that at the Rio this summer, a raise to 67,000.
By the way, we saw Fedor Holz in that first-timers piece. He may be a first-timer, but he's a ringer. Just 21 years old, great online player already, lots of success in Europe.
Matt Waxman folds to Lily Newhouse on the button. She looks down at pocket 8s.
Las Vegas pro. Her poker coach is Nick Brancato, a WPT boot camp instructor.
Lily, one of the shorter stacks coming into this hand with 25 big blinds, wondering if her 8s can do the job here. She says all in. Oh no. Max Steinberg folds. Buderoni can't wait to say call, but first we've got the big blind. Fox says no. Lily Newhouse in big trouble.
Her son is named Ace. She's not fond of any aces right now.
American Airlines, baby. Huh? American Airlines. Never move.
It's gonna be an 8 on the flop. Look, 8, 8, 8.
Yeah, of course.
It's 5 8s.
I want to help the other lady. I want that she will be the last hand.
All right, here we go. Come on, just give me an 8 one time.
Here's the flop. Sorry, Lily, nothing for you there.
She should have named her kid 8, not Ace.
Third card now. Lily Newhouse looking for an 8. 9 of clubs. It all comes down to the river for her.
Well, Lily Newhouse is going to have that 8, or she is whamboozled.
The river card is a jack. Lily Newhouse feeling the pain.
Okay. Let's go.
Sometimes he bluffs big, sometimes he's got a big hand.
A nice bump to the stack for Buderoni as Lily looks for consolation from her fiance Steve Torrance, also a poker pro. Federico Buderoni now sits with 78 big blinds after that knockout. So at last we say goodbye to the pink hoodie and to Lily Newhouse. An impressive run for this Las Vegas Cash Game Pro. Welcome back inside the Amazon room for the World Series of Poker Main Event telecast presented by DraftKings. Let's get to the feature table for a closer look at Kansas City native, now Vegas pro, Sal DiCarlo.
And you see the Chiefs outerwear, you do not see the Michigan underwear.
DiCarlo, early position with pocket aces.
He final tabled a World Series event in 2013, finishing 3rd.
Well, you want action, but not too much action. He saw Daniel with aces go against 3 others, and that's really a sweat. He does raise it to 52,000. De Silva with Jack 10 off.
Green hoodie, green shades. If he makes it to day 6, he has planned a blue and blue ensemble, and then on day 7, turquoise and turquoise.
Good to plan ahead. He does fold. Negreanu with queens. Uh-oh, he just calls.
Well, no 3-bet from Daniel, playing small ball.
Well, the main event is tough enough on day 1, but if you find yourself as an amateur here on day 5, it's like being a little leaguer in the majors. On the button, Khalili folds 9-8 suited.
Give me those cards.
Von Zalen in the small blind folds. And now Omri Moga in the big blind with ace-6.
Percentages aren't up yet, but I suspect this would be a bad spot for Moga.
Well, a guy can dream, can't he? You got aces, queens, and ace-6. 3 players will see this flop, and here it is. 7, 9, 6. Pocket aces are still best.
Moga's percentage actually went up from 6 to 9 here, which might allow him to bet. In his defense, he flopped the bottom pair, and Antonio Esfandiari has taught us how hard it is to make a pair. Where is Antonio?
Antonio has moved on to building his tent for the Burning Man Festival, no doubt. Moga does bet with bottom pair, 63,000, and now DiCarlo says, I've got aces. There's a straightening board out there. What to do, what to do?
Well, he's got to wonder about that bet and the fact that that's the type of flop that often hits Negreanu.
DiCarlo did raise pre-flop with the aces. The two hangers on still sticking around. Now he does raise to 155,000 with the hammer to Daniel now.
DiCarlo clearly likes his aces. Now Daniel knows that flop likely didn't hit DiCarlo. He had raised from early position, so he probably has big cards. Even if Daniel thinks he has the best hand here, he generally opts for pot control.
Negreanu with two others in this pot. How much could he control it? With the queens, he's gonna raise to 255.
Now for Moga, at this point, Antonio shoves and then just makes running quad sixes.
Right. For Moga with bottom pair, he's committed about a third of his stack and now folds. Back to DiCarlo now.
DiCarlo with the best hand here, but when he keeps his hoodie covering much of his face, as he often does, it is extraordinarily difficult for him to eat lunch or dinner. Thing is, Daniel here could have like 10-8 suited, 9-8 suited, 9-7 suited. Daniel's 3-bet has got to worry you when you got pocket aces here.
DiCarlo playing with a lot of green chips. Daniel doesn't like that. Oh, 4-bet in progress. There's your sign, Daniel. A raise to 430,000.
Once DiCarlo re-raises, Daniel is very rarely ahead and usually very, very behind.
You have, what did he say, 3 nines? What? Did you say 3 nines?
Raise to 430.
Is that what he said? I thought he said 3 nines.
Daniel's hearing things
in my
now.
head, I heard 3 nines.
Well, I said I wanted a 7 and 7, but I don't think Daniel heard that.
I thought I heard your brain say it. His brain said 3 nines. Everyone heard it, no? Or just me?
Well, whether it's 3
The universe
nines
told me. I don't
or
know.
pocket aces, Daniel needs a queen.
I don't have 3 nines, so you win.
Queen's in the muck.
Good hand.
You want to see it?
Sure.
No.
I couldn't beat 3 nines.
You want to see it? Yeah, thought so.
You want to see it? No.
Cost him a quarter of his stack, but it could have been worse.
I guess I'll have to wait.
Can't show you.
You had good cards, though, right?
Yeah, you'll see it sometime.
But you had good cards? They weren't good?
Decent.
Well, you wouldn't have raised if they weren't good.
Decent. Man.
Just decent?
It's all right.
Huh?
It's all right.
Some might have gone broke, but Daniel Negreanu is alive and well. No matter the time of the year, the pace of Las Vegas is always quick. 133 players left at this main event. Lon McCarron with Norman Chad and Kara Scott. To an outer table we venture. Phil Hellmuth basking in his buddy Mark Kroon's glories. His aces lined up to knock out Chicago amateur Pavlin Karakikov and his 8s. 2 cards to come, 7 of clubs, no help.
Kroon trying to overcome the coaching of Phil Hellmuth. Karakikov trying to overcome this hand. He needs an 8 or he's gone.
The river card is a 4. Kroon is good. Phil says my work here is done.
Well, Kroon trying to put his 2013 Day 3 blow-up behind him. For Karakikov, his 4th World Series cash.
And the field shrinks again. He finishes in 133rd for nearly $47,000. Kroon has more bluffing chips to play with. So Kroon's main event mentor looks on, but the real business Phil has now is at the Side Action Championship.
Welcome back to the Side Action Championship. Tonight's event is chip riffling. Players must successfully riffle even stacks of chips. The person who successfully riffles the most number of chips wins.
It's not fair because my hands are smaller than all
stop,
of you guys.
Maria.
I'm gonna do 12 total, 6 each.
Okay.
Wow, very impressive. Phil will try for 6.
Too easy.
Oh my goodness, you killed it.
Dang it all.
Going for the gusto.
Side bets?
He's the man.
Wait a minute. Don't
Hold on, everyone. Hold on, everyone.
I stand corrected.
Ready?
7 and 7.
I'm not gonna waste any time.
JRB on a mission. A mission for redemption.
I think it looks
I think he
tight.
did it.
Solid. He does it. Maria going for
Oh, you
9
slow rolled
each.
us. You hustled us. 10s.
You've been sandbagging us, going for 10 each.
There's no way.
Oh my God, you're a beast.
There's no way.
I think she did it.
No way.
Yes!
She is a beast. Very good. 10 each.
Ace. Wow, what the heck
Go
just
big
happened?
or go home.
The brat going to tie Maria. Well, trying to. Ha! This ain't Madison, kid.
Dang it.
Let's see if the Jedi Force will be with you.
You look nervous, Phil.
I am nervous.
Wow, it's close, close, close. Oh yeah, there you go with the doubles again. Did not work.
That's a shame.
He's on a free roll.
I'm not gonna look, I'm just gonna go blind.
You're not gonna look.
Nope.
The no-see riffle.
Oh, damn.
It's a great effort.
Oh, look at, there's a big clump of green.
There's a problem at the top.
There's a big
All
clump
right,
of green.
that didn't quite go.
Problem at the top.
That's a shame. This is stunning. Maria has won 2 of the 3 events, overwhelmingly.
That's right.
If Maria can break down barriers in that men's club, how come we can't get more women to play in the main event, right? All right, no smiles at one outer table, all business. Justin Bonomo with 119 big blinds, a good standing right now.
Justin loves festivals, raves, and Burning Man. It should say, loves never working. All he ever does is go to festival, raves, and Burning Man.
Bonomo raised to 55,000 with 5-5. Matt Waxman just called with ace-king of spades. They await the decision from big blind Antonio Payne with ace-4 of clubs. And he comes along.
52-year-old serious New Jersey amateur, owns a photography business, and works for American Airlines.
All right, here's the flop. It is all hearts, a set for Bonomo. Waxman crushed with top pair, top kicker. Payne picks up a wheel draw.
Nobody has a heart line. You didn't point that out. I'm the first to notice it.
Payne will check. And Justin can't slow play this on that board, and he does bet 125,000.
Waxman was tanking on day 4 on the river against Michael Wasserman. After 9 minutes, they called the clock. With 6 seconds left on the countdown, Waxman called. Wasserman had a full house. To which I would tell Matt, 1, you should have taken 6 more seconds to make up your mind. 2, I want those 10 minutes of my life back.
Waxman makes the call. This will be Payne's biggest live poker cash, but he'll get no more chips here.
Heads up now between the 2 bracelet winners.
Deuce of clubs, maximum pain for Antonio as he watches his would-be wheel come home, but he's on the sidelines. Bonomo with the set, Waxman with his own wheel draw.
These two with almost identical World Series resumes. Bonomo, 29 years old with a bracelet and 34 cashes. Waxman, 30 years old with a bracelet and 33 cashes.
Justin puts together 325,000. He's got the bigger stack. He's got Waxman covered by just over 1 million chips.
The guy with the old school hair was eyeing the guy with the hipster hair very carefully.
Well, Waxman makes that call with top pair, top kicker. Queen of spades on the river. Waxman does not improve, and Justin will check this.
This is such a tricky spot for Waxman. Chances are Bonomo didn't have a flush, and hey, top pair, top kicker is pretty darn good.
Check, check. Bonomo shows the set as he keeps right on rolling.
And it could have been worse for Waxman. I don't know if he would have called a river bet.
Well, Justin Bonomo taking chips from a fellow pro. He now closes in on 3.5 million chips. Waxman down to 1.3 million.
Bonomo with his deepest main event run ever in progress.
Well, nearby, it looks like the Gator man, David Rapicki's heading home to Tulsa. Justin Schwartz finally got the showdown win he was looking for.
Crew, y'all have been excellent.
He's Miami Dave. Shouldn't he be headed home to Miami?
Don't forget the Gator man. I'll be making my triumphant return. Boss, I'm coming back Tuesday. Fly tomorrow.
Gator man got fed to the Sharks. Sorry, couldn't resist. Rapicki heads back to his home game a little richer. Welcome back to the 2015 World Series of Poker Main Event. Players continue to fall here on day 5. Canada's Omri Moga is gone.
His first World Series cash and his second main event ever. That's a better batting average than you or I have, Lon.
Kenny Hollert will join Moga at the payout cage.
Hey, eventually he had to pay the price for knocking out 94-year-old William Wachter.
Chip leader Joe McKeon claims another victim. This time it's Jim Bechtel, the last former main event champ in the field.
Bechtel's 6th main event cash.
We get our first look now at pro Brian Hastings with pocket kings. He's locked up with Canadian pro Jonas Makoff with ace-queen of diamonds, 1 diamond in the flop.
Hastings, one of 2 players to win 2 bracelets at this year's World Series, along with Max Pescatore.
They built a big pot pre-flop with those hands. Both have over 2 million. Hastings bets 300,000.
Makoff seems married to this ace-queen. He should get a divorce.
He does make the call. That keeps Makoff wanting with a 10 of clubs. He checks.
Is Hastings wearing a what would Phil do shirt like Mark Kroon? I guess it was buy one, get one free, and Kroon gave the second shirt to Hastings.
Well, you saw the 10 on the turn, 10 on the river. Makoff checks. So Hastings' hand is best.
800,000.
800,000, you heard Brian.
Well, double paired board. Maybe ace high is good for at least a chop.
But not for 800,000. And Hastings will take it. Nice try.
Hastings is so tough to go against. He plays the beat of his own drummer.
Over 3.4 million now. He continues to be high on that leaderboard.
Spot for queens. Tough spot for queens. Next. Ace high.
Brian Hastings will file that information away. So Joe McKeon still setting the pace in the Amazon room as we get back to the featured table. Action on the big blind, Chad Power. Power with ace tray. Horder opened with ace 9 for 55,000. DeCarlo 3-bet with pocket sevens.
Power says Phil Hellmuth has helped him a lot on the business side of poker, so the poker brat is spreading his love throughout the room. On the poker side of poker, I think Phil would tell Chad to fold his hand.
Chad has green chips in hand. And that's not a fold. That is a re-raise, getting Horder's attention to 225. Horder folds.
Chad Power sees an opportunity here. Boy, DeCarlo usually plays premium hands. Power 4-betting behind DeCarlo's re-raise.
DeCarlo with a somewhat bigger chip stack right now than Chad Power.
At his last job interview, DeCarlo went in with his hoodie covering much of his face, and as a consequence, did not speak and did not get the job.
And he does make the call for 103,000 more with the better hand. All right, here we go. Heads up, almost 550,000 in the middle. 9 queen 5. DeCarlo is still best.
At the House of Cards in Hanover, Maryland, this is a continuation bet 87% of the time. At the House of Chad, this is a trip to the pantry for Ruffles with Ridges.
Onion dip?
No, regular.
All right, so here comes the continuation bet. Keeping control of the betting here post-flop, 210,000.
Out of position with squad douche. Power forges ahead. DeCarlo holds on to his hoodie and pocket sevens.
Power giving DeCarlo plenty to think about, but the veil is dropped. The cards are mucked.
So good? You want to see it? I was going to hit you with a no.
Want to see it? Nah.
Power poker.
Now over 2 million after that well-played hand.
What'd you have? You know.
A sarcastic side to Chad Power. What can't this kid do? Well played for the leader of the House of Cards. We're officially in table breakdown mode in the Amazon room as San Francisco's Neil Blumenfield makes his way to the featured table. You gotta love his styling, Norman.
If he's got a walk-in closet, I think I could live in there. Love the threads.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you. You probably want that. Does anybody want this?
You can keep it.
You need to keep it.
God, it's the featured table and the featured dealer. Pretty cool.
He was a high school debate champion, and he's played in the main event the past 5 years.
So he settles in with this tough crowd.
How much you bring over here? 1.2?
1.1. A little over 1.1.
Neil sits down with 47 big blinds.
I'm becoming, like I'm losing rank. You know, I'm second oldest. I'm fourth. Pretty sure.
Slowly blending in.
Yeah, getting back to the medium.
Von Zelen with 9s. He'll raise.
My first table, the first 5 guys that sat down were over 60. It's a good table.
And if you keep going in that direction, how would you like to be the youngest guy at the final table?
Yeah, I'll take
fun.
it.
61-year-old Blumenfield folds. On the 33-year-old DeCarlo with ace-king.
When he takes the hoodie off his mouth, DeCarlo is the worst player in the history of his hometown of St. Louis, Missouri. See, now he's back in beast mode.
He's got beast mode hand. And there is the 3-bet to 132,000. A quick fold from Pesh, thank you. Pocket kings for Negreanu in the small blind.
It's been raised and re-raised, and Daniel with a monster.
With that monster, a lot of players snap shove, but Daniel taking his time. Negreanu with re-raising chips, and there is the 4-bet to 332.
Small ball be damned.
Howard gives up the big blind. Van Opzalen folds his 9s. Now left to DeCarlo with ace-king.
They call my nickname, Cold 4-bet. It's my style.
Cool 4-bet.
Right? That's what they call me, Cold 4.
Mr. Cold 4.
Yep. 'Cause that's how I've been playing for years. I love it. It's so fun.
Wow, a re-raise to put Negreanu all in. He didn't see that coming.
I'm gonna need a moment. I have a very, very, very good hand. I'm not kidding.
It's a 5-bet. It's for the rest of Daniel's stack, and he wants to make sure he has not run into aces.
A lot of players snap call right there.
I'm probably in. I just want to make sure there's no way I can get away.
These opportunities don't happen often.
It doesn't seem possible Daniel would fold kings here and leave himself with 37 big blinds.
This could be it. Geez, you must have it, no? I've only done it, I don't know, twice in my life. I was right once, wrong the other time.
Yeah, I remember Daniel talking about this once. He's referencing the fact that he's only folded pocket kings pre-flop twice in his life. One time his opponent had aces, the other time his opponent had queens.
This is how you torture Daniel Negreanu.
DeCarlo's pretty snug. Daniel knows he likely is not 5-betting with anything worse than pocket queens. You don't think it can be kings because you've got kings. It's probably not ace-king because you've got kings.
What reason to think it's not aces? It's what Daniel has to figure out here then.
I call.
Here we go.
You got him?
Good call.
He's good.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Nice hand, Daniel, so far.
Negreanu in good shape, but he's at risk, and he's again uneasy. 2.5 million chips in the middle.
Thanks, bud. Good 9.
Should not root for you, but I will.
Thank you, bud.
It is DeCarlo who is on his feet now. He's the one that has to improve to knock out Negreanu. And his best shot is just to find an ace. Here we go, Negreanu at risk. All diamonds.
No diamonds.
You gotta fade diamond, diamond, though.
At least I'd still be here.
Turn card. Another diamond. Negreanu could get flushed out of a full double up.
The ace of diamonds, he no longer wins, right? So you can look at it that way.
Exactly.
Only the ace of spades or ace of hearts knocks out Kid Poker.
A lot of the crowd on their feet here. The river's a black 7, a full double up for Daniel Negreanu to nearly 2.6 million.
I don't know. 780, 800.
Big double up for Negreanu. Big blow to DeCarlo.
That's 1 million.
Daniel happily counts out what he's owed. DeCarlo, as you said, took a shot, and he's more than cut in half, down to 908,000, 37 bigs.
I believe.
Man, you count fast.
Go ahead.
Daniel with over 100 big blinds again.
Stressful. I really wanted to fold. I couldn't bring a fold. I wanted to fold. I'm not the 4-bet guy. I was kidding. I don't do the cold. I'm not cold 4.
I was bluffing. I'm not cold 4.
Daniel Negreanu very relieved as his deepest main event run in 14 years continues.
The best poker content on the internet.
Your super high rollerball 7 champion.
Oh yeah!
Wheels are coming off.
That's the craziest hand I've ever seen. What was that bite?
Go to get.pokergo.com/YT24 for $20 off a new annual subscription.
For me to make the final table and win, all I really need to do is have faith in the way that I play the game. and continue to be focused. Make sure that in those big moments where I have to really show up,
what happens and live in the moment.
Let's go!
Poker players want to be in alive in the main event. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Las Vegas for the World Series of Poker main event telecast presented by DraftKings. Lon McCarron, Norman Chad, Kara Scott. We get right to the action. Andrew Moreno in a bad spot with ace-king suited, trying to take out the aces of Dax Green. Moreno, a 31-year-old San Diego pro, married to poker personality Christy Arnett, who's on the rail.
Andrew Moreno, distraught. By the way, this guy's given name is Dax, D-A-X, Dax Green. His middle name is Alden. Go figure.
Here's the flop, and 2 kings for Moreno. What a flop!
Wow, Dax Green should change his first and middle names to Bad Beat.
And you see Green with 1 out, the ace of clubs. Moreno can't believe what he just saw. Turn card is a 7.
28-year-old Boston pro stacking his chips to send to Moreno. Only the last ace in the deck would save Dax Green.
The river is at 8. Cue the celebration for Andrew Moreno and his crowd. Dax Green busts the main event holding pocket aces. What are you going to do? That flop came just in time for Moreno.
Sorry, man.
All right, let's tour the room, check on some other notables. Sports bar owner Mark Kroon with nearly $3 million.
He was a day 3 chip leader here in 2013 and lost them all in a hurry, hoping for redemption in 2015.
Chad Power, the Maryland landlord of poker's House of Cards, has $3 million.
If he wins the main event, all of his roommates should be rent-free at the House of Cards for 1 year.
German-born Fedor Holz, young, talented, and stacked.
I thought long and hard about how to say something bad about this kid, but I can't. He's likable, almost lovable, really.
Daniel Kid Poker Negreanu rounds out a loaded feature table.
Daniel's achieved almost everything in the poker world except a main event title. It feels like this could be his year.
We can do a no shuffle bet if you want.
A what?
A no shuffle bet.
No shuffle bet? Wow. You never shuffle?
I did that a few years ago. Me, Eric, and Phil Ivey.
Yeah.
Where basically, it was 10K anytime they caught you shuffling chips. And Phil lost like 3 times. Because when Phil's in a pot, he just goes like this, and he's like...
Yeah, I mean, I would do it without thinking.
I was good. Kept my hands here.
Well, Daniel hasn't been too short, hasn't been too big. He's had a comfortable stack for most of the main event.
Power is intimidating to his left, but it's Holtz he has to worry about. Fedor is as tough as they come.
And Fedor is the big stack at this featured table, and he is the most aggressive as well.
Look at this kid. It feels like we were separated at birth. But when I was 21, I just finished my freshman year at Maryland with 14 outstanding parking tickets and a C+ average.
You see the current payout, almost $47,000. Players at the table talking about a prop bet involving riffling chips.
Do it for $100 a shuffle or something.
I'd probably just like sit like this.
Yeah, that's what he was doing, Eric.
Yeah,
sitting on his hands.
Sit on your hands, yeah, definitely.
But even then, you get in a pot, and you're playing with chips, and then all of a sudden you're like, how much is that?
No!
10K. How much is that? 10K.
Phil Ivey or Phil Locke? Or for homies?
Ivy.
Oh. Too many Phils.
Too many Phils, not enough Lons. I've been saying it for years.
Nobody raised before Fedor Holtz, so there's an open door for him to make it $65,000 with King Jack. Ace Queen for Sohail Khalili, 29-year-old Israeli pro.
Trying to figure out what to do with Ace Queen while he undergoes the Fedor Holtz. I'll stare at you until you buy me a drink treatment.
He comes along for $65K. And you may have noticed that the lavender chip is in play. Norman, let the games begin. San Francisco amateur Neil Blumenfield with King Queen.
A longtime software professional about to leave the software industry. I think he could model clothes.
I think he is modeling clothes. He will fold over to the button. Chris Horter, he folds now to the small blind. Sal DiCarlo.
DiCarlo could model Kansas City Chiefs gear.
In the small blind, DiCarlo folds to the big blind. Apeshka De Silva, one of the big stacks at the table, 6-5 of clubs. He goes by Pesh. Pesh calls.
You know, when you're looking for De Silva in a movie line, he's always easy to find.
All right, 3 to the flop. Here it is. 6, 10 deuce. The sixes are best for Pesh. He checks. The other two missed. Here's Holz now. And he checks.
Okay, Healy checking that Holz checked before he checks.
Let's see a turn card. 4 of hearts. De Silva now adds a gut shot.
And I think De Silva is done luxuriating in his green hoodie. Time to get busy.
He is aggressive. This bracelet winner bets 120,000.
And the thing about Holz, and De Silva for that matter, they believe that every pot should be theirs. This is an easy fold. Holz has no hand, no draw, but since it was a checked flop, Holz might believe De Silva's trying to steal the pot, so Fedor might try to steal it with a raise here.
And he's got the look of someone who knows what you're doing and why you're doing it. It's very disconcerting to play against. And look at this, Norman. Green chips coming into play.
Well, he's 21 years old. Shouldn't he move faster?
That is a raise, bluffing at it. 315,000 is the price. Khalili folds, now back to De Silva.
De Silva's hand is disguised here like Miley Cyrus's singing talent. No way he's folding this. Plus, he knows that Fedor knows that he might have been bluffing.
315.
No problem putting 195,000 more in.
Holz doesn't seem concerned. One more street to bluff.
All right, 9 of hearts misses both. So the pair of sixes of that man, Pesh De Silva, are best. And he checks. And Holz gives up.
6.
Third pair? That probably has me crushed.
So De Silva will win that showdown, taking chips from Fedor Holz.
And that's how you got all those chips, huh? Raise, they fold. Oh, man.
Not all the time. He got them when he raised them, they called, actually. I know.
Oh, you were there?
Personally.
It seems that every year we hear about the new age of poker, kids with fresh ideas, different styles, unorthodox betting patterns. Well, Fedor Holz certainly fits that mold, Norman. An internet legend before he turned 21, now trying to wreak havoc at this main event. How do those of us in the older generation keep up with these, what's that term you like, whippersnappers?
Yeah, and this Fedor Holz has a lot of snap in his whip. To him, every hand is playable, every raise is in bounds, every pot can be won. So what can we do? We out-whippersnap them. We wear better hoodies. We take even more time before every decision. We create a language they can't understand. We simply beat them at their own game. I still think they crush us.
Just when we learn their game, they come up with something new. Max Steinberg leading the main event with just over 100 players remaining. Let's get to an outer table. Andrew Moreno once again. He's hanging in thanks to a big flop with ace-king. He told us what a win here at the main event would mean to him.
$7.5 million would be, it would be a new life for me. You know, I've been in poker for about 12, 13 years, and it would probably start a different venture with my wife and my family. We're really into like fitness, and we really have an idea for something we want to do in the fitness world. So it would be a fun new chapter, that's for sure.
Moreno on the button here with 10-7 of hearts, facing a raise from Mark Kroon, who would raise with 2 dry cleaning slips, I think. Moreno calls.
Kroon raised with nothing and got called by nothing. His reputation precedes him.
Small blind folds. Big blind gets out of the way. We are heads up.
Kroon is so much fun to watch play.
All right, here is the flop now. Moreno with top 2. Kroon with bottom pair. Mark doesn't need much to hit the gas. Bets 95,000.
Well, Moreno almost certain top 2 is best here. But he might just call here and let Kroon, as one of his buddies says, just try to bust himself.
Everyone here knows how active Kroon has been. They've seen some of his bluffs. You just never know when he has it. Moreno with the raise to 225 here. Mark Kroon will make that call.
Kroon comes along. Not good for Team Hellmuth.
All right, turn card now. Kroon in trouble. Is another 7-7s full from Moreno. Kroon drawing dead, and he checks.
Moreno in the catbird seat.
Now trying to figure out how much he can get from Mark Kroon. Christy Arnett, his wife, looking on carefully.
Well, Moreno can only win the $7.5 million he talked about if he actually puts out a bet. Otherwise, we'll all just die here on day 5 of the main event.
There it is. He puts Moreno all in.
Oops.
Yep. Moreno would be at risk, but not really. He turns it over, and he will double up.
Are we going to see a river card? Well, what does Kroon need? What does Mark Kroon need?
Mark Kroon needs an ocean card. Christy Arnett enjoying the turn of events. Moreno with the double up through the ambitious Mark Kroon. For Moreno, his stack soars above $3 million. A city for all ages, shapes, and sizes, but the main event continues to trend younger. Here's Kara Scott with more on part of that youth movement.
The youngest player still in the field at just 21, Fedor Holz, is already a veteran of the game. He has over $1.5 million in live tournament winnings, including a final table this summer in the six-handed No Limit Hold'em Championship event. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Online, he is a phenom. He won the World Cup of Online Poker last year for $1.3 million and added that to the seven-figure sum he'd already won online. So a main event bracelet would not be unexpected for this player.
Holtz finished 3rd at the Harry Potter auditions. That paid nothing, so he turned to poker.
All right, back to this nasty lineup of poker talent. Sal DiCarlo in middle position, 9-7 of diamonds. The short stack now needs to make something happen. He raises to 65,000. Around to Chad Power in the small blind with ace-10 off. Chad, the biggest stack at this featured table, gives up the ace-10.
Started with like 600, 7.
I hate when they ask how many chips you have before they even look at their cards. I understand that online that information is right in front of them, so they want it. Real life's not that easy, you punks.
Fedor Holtz just a few thousand behind Power on the power rankings of this table, makes the call. We're heads up. Short stack against a big stack. The flop, 4 king 6 2 diamonds. Nut flush draw, middle pair for Holtz. He checks, a useless flush draw for DiCarlo.
Oh, Holtz is hoping for the check raise. Tread lightly, Sal. This kid is directing a horror film, and you're the innocent victim.
80,000 from Sal.
Holtz had a job at a department store for a day, but didn't like it too much. Why? Because he couldn't check raise customers.
Fedor Holtz now reaching for chips, and that's the young'un we know. After a call and a check, I was beginning to wonder. Check raised to 185.
Please run home, Sal. Don't open up that next door. It's a raging inferno in there.
The veil is still up. That means he's still in the hand. Sal with the worst of the 2 flush draws.
All in.
Oh, he says all in.
Call.
And a quick call from Holtz.
Pair versus, oh my goodness, what a board.
DiCarlo pushed with 17 big blinds left, and Holtz has him hurting big time.
DiCarlo had taken 4.5 days to build his chip stack, but in a short series of hands here on day 5, well, they might all be whisked away. Here is the turn, 10 of spades. DiCarlo with a gut shot.
Now he needs a black 7, 8, or 9.
It's the moment to start running good in all in.
The river card, a diamond. DiCarlo's fall is complete. Flush over flush.
The 33-year-old Las Vegas pro with his 9th World Series cash.
His first main event cash worth almost $47,000.
Good game. Nice game. Good game.
Game, bro.
Good game, man.
He was quite the figure here at this featured table.
Hey, good game, man. You played
Good
great.
game, boss. Good luck, man.
Fedor Holtz now with nearly $3.7 million.
Baby-faced beast.
Where are you from? Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh? What about you? Texas? Not Texas? No? No, Germany.
If he was from Texas?
What?
Texas?
A little bit of that Texas twang.
I've never heard German confused for Texas.
Just jokes.
Yeah, Connie, bitter beer habit. Yep.
You fooled me. No, I'm just kidding. I know you're German. Yeah, I was like, wait, this is weird. I was like, I'm Fedor from Texas.
Sometimes he's got the nuts, sometimes he's bluffing, but Fedor always knows what he's doing when he has cards in front of him.
My biggest strength on the table is reads on people and just like picking up the vibe of what they're up to do and like how they feel, if they're rather bluffing or having a big hand and these kind of things. I'd say I was very psychological, then got very mathematical because of my online background, and then got very psychological again, playing more and more live poker. That's kind of the transition I've made. I think I play great right now. I'm really confident in what I do. And I guess that's the key for me. If it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. But right now, as I'm playing, as I still have chips, I think I'm gonna win.
When you listen to him talk, it doesn't come off as arrogance, rather just a very casual confidence.
Chad knows that this is a leak of some aggressive players. Just give them enough rope and they'll hand you their chips. And it is Fedor reaching for chips. I guess he's not feeling the vibe of Chad Power right now. Chad says, thank you, sir. Can I have another?
Power strikes me as a guy who uses the cruise control button in his car.
No doubt. 4 of diamonds, and Holz now drawing dead. Power checks again.
If this were a speed dating event, there definitely would be a shot clock on Fedor. Very deliberate.
He's trying.
Bet in progress.
And I think I saw just a hint of a tiniest smile on Chad Power's face when Fedor reached for chips. There is a bet of 420.
Well, here's the thing about Fedor's bet sizing here. If he had bet any more, he'd lose more. If he had bet any less, he'd lose less.
Now talk about being theatrical here with the nuts.
Well, just theatrical. Look at these guys' hands. They're 4 hands right now. It's like performance art.
I think they've stopped breathing. Chad Power. Is this a moment for a raise? Nope, just a call.
Hey, this Holz fella swings for the fences. Sometimes he hits homers, and sometimes he strikes out.
River card now, and that pairs Holz, but also puts a 3rd diamond on the board.
Power looking for a way to get more chips out of Holz. He might check again.
That has been his pattern, and Fedor knows that. There is the check.
Will Holz bet again?
No, he checks. And 10's full might be good here. Holz mucks his hand, and he'll stack the chips.
Bad river for you. For you, I mean.
Yeah.
It's hard for him to put you at jacks now in the jack hit.
But what am I gonna do?
Oh, you did it right. You're supposed to do.
Deuce one time.
Yeah, that was a bad river. You might have had to go for it one more time.
Yeah.
Looked like you had maybe, Jack. You wouldn't? You were done? He was done. Quit. 405, you get that? That's enough.
What'd you have?
What'd you have? Not a full house, I'll bet.
Welcome back to the World Series of Poker Main Event telecast presented by DraftKings. One player who has had his share of ups and downs is Wisconsin's Mark Kroon. He knows his way around a poker table, but now he has expert GPS.
When I first started playing poker, we used to play in this little backroom bar. There used to be this guy in there who was really loud, and he used to win every single Saturday, and he used to drive everybody nuts.
I was playing in his mother's bar. I was playing poker in 1990.
And every single Saturday, he'd walk out, and everybody always just wanted, oh, just beat him up.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've matured a lot.
One day, I was just sitting there, and I was watching ESPN, and I go, that's the guy that used to beat me every single Saturday.
And the next thing you know, it's like 1993, 94, and he's won a limit hold'em tournament out here, and I'm like, I didn't even know you played.
Now I'm better than him, and he's a little jealous.
And when I got eliminated, we worked out a deal for me to coach him.
How would you like to have Tiger Woods on your bag and, going down the 18th hole?
People see me coaching and talking to him, and then there's an intimidation factor. It's like they're playing me a little bit.
I can't thank him enough, and I don't think there's a player in the world that wouldn't want him there.
I love coaching. It is fun, and it's more fun to do it during the main event.
He's helping me a lot.
I think that Mark has a great chance to go deep.
He may go deep, but Helmuth occasionally has been playing online poker on his smartphone today while coaching Mark. Really? You think Bear Bryant was playing Mahjong while coaching Joe Namath?
Kroon in the cutoff position with King 9 offsuit. He's down to about $1.7 million now in a race to $65,000.
What is with that tank top?
That is Nick Augustino. I'm thinking he lost a prop bet. 7-6 of spades. He folds over to Marino now. Off his recent double-up ace-4. He folds.
Marino, a proud graduate of the Norman Chad School of Poker Advanced Seminar on the weak ace in the small blind.
Nick Everisk in the big blind, 10 tray of spades, 30-year-old Canadian software programmer.
For the record, I already put you on Jack 9.
Everisk has a master's degree in computer science with a specialization in artificial intelligence, but I don't know if that covers Mark Kroon.
He'll need a few extra letters after his name to do that. Everisk with a call of 35,000 more.
And look, Mr. Kroon already assembling chips for his bluff on the flop.
Here is the flop. Everisk ahead now with middle pair. Kroon with a gut shot. Everisk checked.
Kroon's comfort zone is a hand in the 10 to 33% range. He doesn't even mind drawing dead.
80,000 from each, and we will see a turn card. That card is the deuce of clubs. That changes nothing.
Doesn't change anything, anytime, anywhere.
Check, check. Free river card. It is a queen, and Kroon makes his hand with a king high straight. Everisk checks it. Kroon now. Gotta bet it. 205.
This is a good card for me.
I mean, that's a good card for me if it's a bad one for you.
There's something about Kroon's air. People always want to beat him in a pot.
I'll do a cartwheel naked if you catch me bluffing.
You still owe me one.
That's binding.
That's binding?
Naked cartwheel.
Dealer. Dealer. Come on.
Everisk folds. There's the rail.
Kroon, cartwheel, naked. 3 words I never want to hear again in the same sentence.
Mark Kroon now approaching 1.9 million on the way back up. He's got the image, he's got the coach. Maybe this is Mark Kroon's year to go from bar owner to main event champ. Back in Las Vegas, we are under 100 players at the 2015 main event. The final 9 make it to November. The champion winning almost 7.7 million. One title that doesn't have quite the prestige or dollar value to it is the Side Action Championship. After 3 events, Maria Ho leads, but everyone knows it's not over till it's over.
Welcome back to the Side Action Championship. Tonight's event is chip stacking. 100 chips will be in a plastic bag in front of each player. Players must dump the bag and stack the chips in stacks of 20. There are 3 different colors. Fastest player wins.
He does the best bag. It's easier to separate.
It's right chips in it.
It's handicapped like a horse race.
Handicap it like a horse race. I agree with that.
Okay, here we go. 3,
Maria's
2,
screwing herself.
1, go.
God dang, I can't even get on my...
Maria uses the standing up style. So does Phil Locke. 2 are standing, 2 are sitting. Helmuth off to a slow start. Would you drop out of chip stacking junior college, Brat?
I won this last year.
Well, last year was last year. This year is this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, concentrate.
Done, boys. Done. That's a win.
Well, we got to make sure. I think there's a chip missing somewhere.
I'm done, but I have uneven stacks, by the way.
Uneven stacks are not
I'm
good.
done. I'm done.
I can't be done because I don't have the correct...
No, you have a black in your green.
You have a black and your green, that's why.
Me too. Oh my
I'm done.
God.
I
Me too.
finished
Oh
first.
my what?
No,
I'm done.
I beat Phil
no, then
Locke,
I
though.
finished first.
I beat you at least.
I
Phil.
finished first.
Believe it or not, well, you were off. You were off. The person who was first in, who wasn't off, was Maria Ho.
Wow.
And JRB finished second.
I finished third at least. I corrected before he did.
Not corrected. Look at this. See this? Missing a chip.
Yeah.
Where's your other chip?
Yeah.
Oh, it's in
It's
the
right
wall.
there. Ah! I beat Helmuth.
Yeah.
I beat Helmuth.
Oh my goodness.
That's a shame.
Damn it.
Maria Ho is lapping the boys in the band. Her 3rd win in 4 events at this Side Action Championship.
Look at JRB. How could you not win this?
Maria was the last woman standing in the 07 and 2014 main events. Kelly Minkin trying to accomplish that and more. All in with queens called by Gatis Cortes's pocket jacks.
Cortes, a 29-year-old Lebanese-born Swedish amateur.
There's the flop. Pocket queen still good for Minkin in her double-up quest.
The attorney in the process of prosecuting another victim.
The turn card is a queen. Queen's full. The double-up is official. Cortes drawing dead. Cortes hit Broadway on the river, but no good. A double up for Kelly Minkin through Cortes.
Minkin, 28 years old, University of Arizona grad.
Can't rest on her laurels. 28 big blinds is an improvement, but won't last long in this environment. All right, let's get back to Mark Kroon holding rags again and a rematch with Nick Aberisk, whose pocket sevens are best after a king-eye flop. Kroon testing him with a bet of $190,000.
Kroon in a familiar spot trying to bluff an innocent man.
Aberisk with the sevens. They are best, and he's going to at least make one call.
Well, how many times has Mark Kroon watched someone call his bluff? I guess that's like asking, how many Big Macs has McDonald's sold?
Here's the turn card. Tray of clubs, another undercard to the pocket sevens of Aberisk.
Kroon's t-shirt says, what would Phil do? Aberisk's t-shirt says, I would call Mark Kroon with queen high.
Action on Kroon.
He's a serial bluffer, a pathological bluffer, a bluffaholic.
To quote Wall Street, past performance is an indication of future actions for Kroon. And there is another bluff, $355,000.
You know, but like Pesh de Silva, Kroon puts a lot of pressure on you a lot of the time. He puts opponents to tough decisions.
And what makes this tougher for Aberisk is that if he calls this, the next bet might be for all his chips.
Indeed, this is for 1/3 of his stack. Look at Kroon. He loves it. This would be for 1/3 of his remaining stack right here, and the prospect of a big bet on the river with just a single pair.
And the sevens go into the muck. Kroon gets the applause and the pot.
Show a seven if you have a seven, but if you don't have a seven, don't show it.
He shows. That's why people love beating Mark Kroon.
That's what I'm talking about. Step on it. Raise every hand, and every time these kids 3-bet, you 4-bet them.
Wow, Helmuth coaches differently than he plays. He certainly doesn't practice what he allegedly preaches.
You know, coaches in tennis and golf can't come out onto the playing field, but I guess they can't here.
Ho, they've been bluffing you every hand, Ho. Time to step it up.
Phil Hellmuth very proud of his student. What he told him in that hand, we're not quite sure, but we're never quite sure with Phil.
The best poker content on the internet.
Your super high rollerball 7 champion.
Oh, yeah.
Wheels are coming off.
That's the craziest hand I've ever seen. What was that bite?
Go to get.pokergo.com/YT24 for $20 off a new annual subscription.
If you do not follow the poker world closely, you may not know that Daniel Negreanu has undergone a transformation of sorts over the last few years. He attributes a fresh mindset to much of his recent poker success.
So I'm a big believer in clear intention. So I speak it out. I write it out, I put it on Twitter. You know, my intention to end day 5 is to have 5 million in chips. Now, if I end up with 3 million, will I be disappointed? I'm not attached, but I'm clear on what am I waking up this morning to accomplish. Ultimately, it's to win the tournament, and then I set some like daily ideas in terms of what does today need to look like, or what do I want it to look like.
His intention is to end day 5 of the main event with 5 million chips. My intention is to end day 5 of my marriage still married.
Daniel starts his hand with $1.5 million. De Silva in the small blind with $2.8 million and ace-7 offsuit. A raise to $65,000. Daniel's going to come along. All right, heads up. Here is the flop. Trey, queen, jack, 2 hearts. Top pair for Negreanu.
I don't know De Silva that well, and I'm already conditioned to expect him to bet all flops.
Isn't that true? De Silva, though, checks against the 6-time bracelet winner. Daniel checks back. 10 of hearts, 3rd heart. De Silva with flush and Broadway draws.
De Silva originally planned to become a lawyer, decided it was easier to take people's money playing poker.
And he checks again. So Daniel's going to bet. I imagine his hand's a little disguised after checking top pair on the flop. $85,000, and De Silva calls.
No way De Silva was going to fold flush and straight draws.
Nope, and that is not one of the outs he was looking for. Negreanu is best with the queens. Another check from De Silva. Negreanu?
205.
The reason I wouldn't bet 205 is because it opens the door for De Silva to make it 605, though I can't imagine what he'd be representing. Daniel seems comfortable he's made the right decision.
And now Pesh wondering if his ace high is good.
Really? I don't know what he's wondering about right now. I mean, usually don't raise when you wait this long. What could he put Daniel on that he's thinking of calling with ace high?
You have king 9?
King 9? King 5 beats you. King 3 beats you. Ace 9 beats you. The Rio parking valet beats you.
Chip's not an issue. Pesh has Negreanu covered by about $1.3 million. It's just, what does Daniel have? He wants to find out.
You just have a queen.
He got the call.
Queen's good.
Queen is good.
You said king 9. Do I need it? Oh, no. 205.
Pesh De Silva down below $2.5 million now.
That was 225.
205.
Wow, Daniel one pair, weak kicker, and he gets good value from it. Very nice.
Daniel a step forward towards realizing his intention of 5 million chips today. Though Daniel has had a lot of recent success, it's his body of work that really tells the story. 6 bracelets, all-time money leader, Hall of Fame, every box checked, except main event champion.
He's not even halfway through his poker career, and he's already 4th all-time in World Series cashes, tied for 10th in final tables, and tied for 9th in bracelets.
We'll keep it here. Daniel 10-8 of hearts. He told me during the main event that these players at the table have to adapt to me with my experience and my accolades. Raised to 65,000. Holz with ace deuce off.
Okay, if Daniel's kid poker, then Fedor is what? Toddler poker?
He makes the call. The button Negreanu and the big blind Holz. We'll see a flop. 10-4 deuce. Bottom pair for Holz, who would check dark. Top pair for Negreanu.
Holz checked in the dark. What is Helmuth also coaching him?
90,000. About half the pot from Daniel.
Well, chances are that flop missed Negreanu, so I've got to believe Holz likes his bottom pair.
Some people might see this as the new and old of poker, but Daniel continually adapting his game, and he's new poker as well. Holz makes the call.
So middle-aged dogs can be taught new tricks.
That is right. King of Diamonds misses both on the turn. Holz checks again.
Now, Daniel very comfortable here with his pair of 10s.
Over half the pot, 210,000.
Holtz's watch doesn't tell the time of day. It tells what time he will destroy the world.
He calls for 210,000. River card, another king. Well, Negreanu is best here. Another check.
Okay, check. Can't see your hand. Oh.
Daniel will take it down with a better 2 pair.
When you turn it over, I couldn't see it.
Holtz handles everything well. Nothing bothers him.
When you turn it over, you looked like you won. I couldn't see either card.
I felt like I won.
Yeah, right? When I checked. Yeah. I don't bet my friends in the river, you know?
Good strategy.
Yeah.
You're watching the 2015 World Series of Poker Main Event, Day 5. And ladies and gentlemen, Round 3, Kroon versus Aberisk. Mark Kroon limp with pocket trays. Nick Aberisk raised with ace-king on the button. Mark now. And what are the odds a little raise like that's going to scare him off?
With pocket 3s, he's going to play them like they're quad kings. That's a huge hand for him.
Twice we have seen Kroon bet and Nick fold.
Allow me the wheel, dealer.
Here is the flop. Kroon's hand still best. He checks.
9 jacks.
They both check. Turn card. Pocket trays still best. Mark puts out 35,000.
Stop the presses. Mark Kroon bets with the best hand. But it's a crazy small bet. 35,000 into a pot of 320? What is that?
Suspicious?
I mean, Aberisk getting 10-1 on a call here, but he's just got ace high. 10-1 on a call.
Kroon has owned him recently. And I guess Nick feels he's beat. And he gives it up.
Trust me, Kroon would prefer to show another bluff.
Yeah, right. In front of his mentor, Mark trying to rebuild his stack once over 3 million, then down to 1.7 million, now up to almost 2.7 million. Elsewhere, an all-in and a call. Short stacked and standing on the left. Ofer Zvi Stern shoved with ace-9 of clubs. Got a call by the queens of New Yorker Carl DeVeglia III in seat 5 with glasses.
Stern under 20 big blinds. Easy call for DeVeglia.
DeVeglia with a bit more than a quarter of his stack in the middle. The flop, 8-7 jack. Stern didn't hit his ace, but the gut shot provides a little hope. Turn card is a tray. No help to Stern.
Stern needs an ace or a 10.
The river is a 10. Stern gets his straight to stay alive.
He just shrugs when he wins. Michael Jordan did that too. And when you hit a gut shot on the river, they let you sit back down.
DeVeglia is still up for the day of play, but that is a loss of $500,000. That'll sting. Stern began the day with about $1.7 million. That double up puts him back up to almost $1.2 million. From Israel to Italy, main event first-timer Federico Buonarroni still hanging around, Norman.
He says he likes movies, but says it's more important who you're watching the movie with. Very wise.
With kings, he opened raised, and he was 3-bet by Justin Bonomo with pocket tens. And all in from Buonarroni. And a quick call. Bonomo in trouble against the Italian with kings.
Yeah, quick call from Justin. Buonarroni in great shape to double up to a very healthy stack.
What a great spot for Buonarroni against a big-time pro who's been backsliding lately.
That's a nice shirt for a double up.
All right, all-in player on his feet as sanctioned by World Series rules. 5-5 ace. Buonarroni still best. Bonomo with nearly 40% of his stack at risk.
Bonomo looks hopeless.
Turn card. Another ace. Buonarroni 1 street from a double up.
Bonomo would need a 10 to knock out Federico Buonarroni.
A 5 chops the pot, but there is a 9, a full double up for Federico. Even with a monster, it's never easy to watch the cards fall.
Bonomo's still okay, knocked down to just under 60 big blinds.
But not a great day 5. Federico up to 2.4 million. Bonomo falls below 1.8 million. Buonarroni, one bad run out from a trip back to Italy, but a safe board keeps him in the main event hunt. The stacks at the top keep getting bigger. 3 players over 5 million, including Pierre Nouvel, Hastings, and Steinberg in 4th and 5th place, respectively. Let's get back to our featured table, and what a lineup it is. On Fedor Holz, 21-year-old. A couple of $1 million scores online, 8-7 of spades.
I wish he moved quicker, but I could watch Holtz at a poker table all day. What a fascinating, nuanced game he plays.
A raise to 90,000, part of his 2.8 million chip stack. Pocket 5s for Jarvis.
Wish Jarvis would move quicker before 3-betting his pocket 5s.
Oh, he folded the pocket 5s. Good payouts now, 56,000. Neil Blumenfield now.
Blumenfield has agreed to give me his scarf when he busts, and Chris Horder has agreed to give me his hair when he busts.
Around to Pesh de Silva in the big blind. Ace King.
We're told de Silva lives in Katy, Texas. I don't think so. I've been to Katy, Texas many times, and I've never seen him. Hey, it isn't Holtz from Texas?
Chad Power is under the mistaken impression that Holtz was from Texas, but he was kidding. So de Silva now, after Holtz is raised to 90,000, repops it to 265 with his stack of 1.8 million.
Okay, you have 8-7 suited, and you've been 3-bet. Others see that as a problem. Fedor Holtz only sees solutions. Matt Jarvis, incidentally, on the cell phone there, checking his trailer park webcam to make sure no one walks away with an oversized load sign that isn't theirs.
Well, Fedor's not going anywhere. Heads up between 2 active players, would you say?
Active indeed.
All right, here is the flop. 8 Jack Ace, both get a piece. Top pair for de Silva, bottom pair for Holtz.
Trouble brewing at the OK Corral line. Couple of sharpshooters eyeing each other.
And they both love it when they get a piece of the flop. That's just a bonus. They will bet anyway. De Silva took the lead pre-flop. And he continues here with the best hand, 345,000.
If Holz puts De Silva the pre-flop 3-better on big cards, it's really hard to continue here.
And you get an active player, and both of these guys know it because they are aggressive players. You don't always put them on big cards.
You know, I think Holz might have taken some of Jarvis's chips while he was on the phone and is using them to make this call.
Pot of almost 1.3 million, a queen of hearts. De Silva adds a Broadway draw to his arsenal.
Yeah, De Silva, though, might be scared by that board now. I mean, he's got a good piece of it. Top pair, top kicker with a straight draw.
He checks this time.
Holz might figure his best path to winning this pot is just to bet here and hope De Silva goes away.
Not unlike his thinking in any other hand. With bottom pair. Holz calculating.
He's always calculating. I played heads up go fish with him for 4.5 hours last week.
425,000.
I don't think De Silva's going away, and a check raise is certainly in his arsenal.
He did not take any time to reach for chips. Those are calling chips. So the pot grows to over 2.1 million.
This is big boy poker, Lon. Of course, you and I left our big boy pants at Pilates class.
River card, 9 of diamonds, third diamond out there. De Silva's hand is best.
Everything got there. A flush, a straight.
Another check from De Silva.
Of course, for Holz, no flush, no straight, just very bottom pair. He can't win at showdown. Will he barrel this baby one more time?
All in.
And that would put De Silva all in. He's got the Katy, Texas resident covered by just about $1 million.
Yeah, this is for the rest of Pesh's stack. It is so hard to call off all your chips with one pair. This is a great bet by Fedor Holz.
Yeah, the two young kids going to war. I just wait.
It doesn't look like you need much to win this one, though.
No, you have
King
to.
and a 10.
This is a very, very scary board. There's 3 diamonds.
Yeah,
So someone could have 2 diamonds for a flush. Any 10 makes a straight.
Yeah.
And this guy might have like 3 of a kind or something. And the other guy could be bluffing. Who knows?
What would be the best hand here?
A flush.
Flush?
Say you had the king of diamonds and another diamond.
Yeah.
You'd have 5 diamonds. With the king. But neither of them have that.
That was my third cousin, actually my second cousin, Stuart, Daniel was explaining stuff to.
Pesh had $3 million to start the day. He'd have only $765,000 to work with should he fold.
Ooh. Yeah, that would leave him with 19 big blinds if he lays this down.
Holz loves to see him squirm.
What do you have? So confused.
Yeah, and if Pesh happens to be wrong here, it's his main event.
Negreanu back to the table. Pesh's lengthy thought process has given him plenty of time to give his poker tutorial on the rail.
Maybe I let you get there.
Maybe he's not there.
Robbie.
Daniel wants the floor director.
Clock.
And he has called a clock on Pesh.
You got 1 minute tacked on your hand.
Any player can call a clock, limiting the deciding player to 1 minute to act or his hand is dead.
He's been tanking a long time. It is for his tournament life.
He makes the call, and there's the double up.
Pair of 8s. Wow. Nice call, kid. All you needed was me to say clock?
What a spectacular call under pressure.
And he's paid off with 91 big blinds. Fedor cut down to just $1 million, 25 big blinds.
Very difficult call. You got chips over here,
It's
too.
like, what the hell do I even beat?
Nothing.
Fedor, though, that's all.
Yeah.
That is not a very good board for ace king.
I called it at 10 minutes. I didn't, you know.
Oh, for sure. No, I was taking an absurd amount of time.
No, I mean, it was obviously your tournament life, but I waited for the 10-minute mark.
I wasn't slow roller. I mean.
No, obviously, you had one pair. I get it.
Probably the only hand-up bluff that you beat.
One young gun puts the other to the ultimate test, and he passes.
First-timers, seasoned pros, last women standing, kids making moves, veterans who've seen it all. For the 88 remaining players at the World Series of Poker Main Event, it's a wide-open race to almost $7.7 million. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Las Vegas for the World Series of Poker Main Event telecast presented by DraftKings. Thousands of hopeful competitors have been replaced by serious contenders for the millions of dollars still up for grabs. I'm Lon McCarran with Norman Chad and Kara Scott. We've got an older on a little older battle, 59-year-old Rick Barabino and 72-year-old Pierre Nouvel. Barabino shoved with king-queen, but Nouvel's holding aces.
Nouvel looking for the knockout. You may recall Barabino, retired Wall Street trader, victim of a profanity-laced Phil Hellmuth rant on day 4.
The flop is pretty empty for Barabino. Nouvel, the retired toy exec with a monster stack, could get stronger here. Barabino with an open-ender.
He'll need an ace or 9 to stick around.
The river is the 4 of diamonds. He misses. Barabino out in 88th and making a hasty exit. He'll earn almost 69 grand. Pierre Nouvel now has over 6 million chips.
And the chip lead. The chip leader is 72 years old.
Hey, Phil. Phil, why aren't you in this tournament still?
Hey.
Kelly Minkin giving Railbird Phil Hellmuth a hard time.
If she bruises his ego and he sues, can she be the defendant and represent herself? It might help her brand.
Minkin, one of 2 females remaining, 27-year-old Diana Svensk, the other.
Diana isn't a medical malpractice attorney. You want to know why? Because no one makes any mistakes in Sweden. It's the perfect country.
Matt Waxman made a deep run last year and here again.
I should sue Matt as part of a class action on behalf of all men who don't have the kind of hair he does. He is bruising my ego and millions of others.
A look at the leaderboard, 87 remaining. Nouvel on top, Hastings and Steinberg 4th and 5th.
And look who's in 6th. Do you remember Anton Morgenstern, engaging young German pro who had a major meltdown late on day 7 in 2013? Looking for redemption.
What are the chances of getting a walk at this table?
It's possible.
It's done already, yeah.
At this table with this group?
What's the chance of winning the Mania?
Better than getting a walk.
Neil Blumenfield in the hat just might be right with this table. 21-year-old to his right is Fedor Holz, an internet whiz, but he's short-stacked.
Short-stack Fedor isn't as fun as big-stack Fedor. Bring back big-stack Fedor. I want big-stack Fedor.
Blumenfield has shown he can hang with the kids.
He looks like a basketball player at a press conference wearing the kind of outfit you half admire and half wonder how clothes like that even get made.
We saw Nouvel. Here's a 70-year-old businessman, Bob Buckenmeyer. Early position, ace queen of clubs.
Owns a consulting firm. He should consult on the main event. His 3rd cash here in 4 years.
And he's going to raise it up to 80,000. The youngin's best not underestimate that guy. Pesh de Silva, 27-year-old poker pro with pocket 9s.
About $1.3 million.
About $1.3 million?
He should have told Pesh, I started with 30K on day 1, and I'm not sure how much I got now, pal.
Bracelet winner from this year, Pesh. He's going to call with a big stack of 3.7 million. There's Fedor now. And he looks down at pocket kings.
Another reason to like this kid, at age 21, he already is into charitable causes. You just want to take him home and show him off to your neighbors. But hey, if you do take him home, do not allow him into your home game.
He is the short stack at this table after doubling up Pesh a little bit earlier. And maybe thinking triple up here, a re-raise all in for 840,000.
Well, normally this might be a squeeze by Holtz, but with a short stack, chances are he would have a big hand in this spot.
You saw bracelet-winning Matt Jarvis fold on the button ace-jack. That's a pro. Now Blumenfield in the big blind, easy fold. Back to Buckenmeyer.
When Buckenmeyer finished 17th in the 2012 main event, I guarantee you he stayed away from ace-queen.
Buckenmeyer. Wow, is he thinking of getting rid of it? He does.
Saying 900.
He calls.
Those are good.
I know they're good. I'm Fedor Holz.
Holz can't get all the chips he lost to Pesh, but it could be a start.
Nines never lose.
It's been a lot of nines.
How many nines are there in the deck?
Not sure. Here is the flop. No 9. In fact, nothing for De Silva.
Yeah, I feel like I have good chances.
Well, if nines never lose, they'd better show up pretty quickly for De Silva.
Turn card now. Another 5.
Oh, I don't like the way he's opening the cards. Crushing dreams.
No heart, no spade.
The Green Hornet needs a 9 to crush Holtz's dreams.
The river card, 7 of spades. Holtz will collect his double up.
Sorry, guys.
Good hand.
How much?
845. Thanks, Bob. 40.
De Silva gives up almost a quarter of his troops, but still sits with 2.9 million.
I think this kid might replace Phil Ivey as my pick to win the main event every year.
You need 1 9. That's the problem.
You know, Norman, after all these years together, people are finally starting to listen to us, I think. Did you see Bob Buckenmeyer fold ace-queen pre-flop? Ace-queen, that is not easy to do in that situation. But he made the right read, and he was rewarded for it. And a small part of me feels like, hey, maybe we helped the guy.
This is not rocket science, Lon. It's just common sense. When you cross a street and a car is coming, you wait. When the expiration date for the OJ in your fridge is a week old, you don't drink it. When your wife says to stop buying enhancements on Clash of Clans, you stop. How does this translate to Bob Buckenmeyer? When you think you're beat, just fold. Unless you're getting the right odds or proper tournament strategy says to call. I really don't know.
You're not the only one. To be fair, that was quality.
Well done, Bob. Good fold. All right, actually, Daniel Negreanu. There is what the doctor ordered. Pocket aces.
When the best player has the best hand, it never seems fair.
A raise to 95,000 from the man number 1 on the all-time money, earned a 2-time World Series Player of the Year. Now folded to Neil Blumenfield. Neil with pocket jacks.
This reminds me, my least favorite hand in Omaha has to be ace-queen, jack-jack.
Wow. Worlds converge. Amateur from San Francisco, but a very active player. He has a top 300 finish from 2012. He raises to 210. Buckenmeyer, easy fold. Back to Daniel with the aces.
Well, he prefers small pots pre-flop, but with pocket aces, I don't think he minds a bigger pot.
And he certainly has to figure Neil has a hand after re-raising.
510.
And there is the 4-bet.
Didn't Daniel say earlier in the main event, his nickname is Cold 4?
Right.
Because he's Mr. 4-bet.
And with the jacks, Blumenfield will come along. $1.1 million already in the pot.
And jacks already crushed.
Yeah, that is true. Neil not afraid to play with the big stacks with the big pros. Still, aces versus jacks.
Yeah, very safe flop for both hands. That's good news for Negreanu, bad news for Blumenfield.
Daniel.
400.
We'll put out 16 green chips, 400,000.
If Negreanu hadn't 4-bet pre-flop, Blumenfield might raise here, but I think he'll just crawl to the turn.
With 4 lavender chips, Neil will call. Almost 2 million now in the middle. Turn card. Queen of spades. Daniel now checks. Maybe he put Neil on queens and has to proceed with caution.
Yeah, so Daniel will revert to small ball just in case. Oh.
Ditto.
Oh. Act like you're going to bet and then check is one of the most reliable I'm not that strong tells.
Third spade hits the river. Maybe more reason to worry.
I think Daniel's got to figure his pocket aces are best now.
Blumenfield has to feel pretty good about the jacks.
I check.
Check, check. Aces beat jacks.
I was thinking 10s or queens.
Yeah, I was too.
Scary. Yeah. Could have bet one there.
Negreanu with almost 3.3
I don't think
million.
he's going to call you. I don't think he was calling you.
The river?
Yeah.
Oh, the turn?
On the river, I don't think it's calling you.
I didn't know what I was gonna do if you raised me. So I really didn't. I guess.
Bad fold?
Yeah, it's kind of sick.
Blumenfield taken down to around 1.8 million.
I was trying to get it in, and then it was like, whoa, queen, uh-oh. Whoa, 10, wait.
He didn't win as big a pot as he would have liked, but at least Daniel's aces didn't get cracked.
The best poker content on the internet.
Your super high roller bowl 7 champion.
Oh, yeah.
Wheels are coming off.
That's the craziest hand I've ever seen. What was that bite?
Go to get.pokergo.com/YT24 for $20 off a new annual subscription.
Welcome back to the Rio for the 2015 World Series of Poker Main Event telecast presented by DraftKings.
Everyone show. Camino, show. We all agreed to show walks earlier on my hand, and I didn't look yet, and I had aces. So I got the max punishment for this deal.
Gotcha.
We showing walks?
Yeah.
Everyone agree?
Yeah, let's
sure.
show 'em.
Whoa!
Yes. Walk. Aces.
That's a good idea.
Still want to show walks?
No, I didn't. You guys saw the same time as me. But you got to show walks. Everyone's got to
Yeah,
do
we
it.
will. We will.
Wait,
It can't be worse than that.
I swear I didn't look. Really?
Some players do refuse to look at their hand if they get a walk for that exact reason. You feel like you might have wasted your pocket aces. Over to another outer table. Medical malpractice attorney Kelly Minkin sits with a short stack. She's used to paydays awarded by a judge.
I feel at home in Phoenix. I've been here for 20 years and my immediate family's here and I love my job, so I wouldn't see myself really living anywhere else. I'm still working full-time. I work typically 9 to 5. It would be really difficult if I didn't have the support of the people at my work. They've been so amazing with encouraging me and even like being open to learning about poker. They're just interested in what I'm doing and it's related to what I do as well. So they think it's an advantage for them and for me that I have skills in poker that I can relate to my job as an attorney. It's that perfect balance of like everything that I enjoy doing like rolled into one. I just love it. So my niece Aaliyah is here. She lives with me as well as my Aunt Marianne. She lives here too. And my mom is here.
She's been the best daughter.
That looks awesome. And then my 2 good girlfriends from college are here. I don't get as much time to do this as I would like, you know, enjoying the people that I care about. Hey guys, let's eat. My family are my friends.
She also plays classical piano and is a great artist and had her own art exhibition when she was 12. Sold out all the art and gave the proceeds to Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Not trying to be in the spotlight. I'm not trying to get famous or be, you know, get a lot of publicity. I just want to enjoy, you know, the competitive aspect of poker and kind of keep my head down and live my life.
I love my Aunt Kelly.
Poker helped pay for law school. She says law school wasn't as difficult as she anticipated, and then she passed the bar her first time out.
With just 10 big blinds, Minkin has aces in middle position. She began the day with almost $1.3 million. Most have gone away. She moves all in for $400,000.
What is with that tank top?
Andrew Moreno with 7 tray. Nick Abarisk. Easy fold as well on the button. Perlman, that's Trevor Perlman, 55-year-old venture capitalist with pocket 9s, makes the call. So Minkin in good shape with the aces.
That is the largest glass of Jack Daniels I have ever seen.
That's a fresh drink. I guess Kelly's planning on sticking around. Perlman, former owner of the Bourbon Street Hotel here in Las Vegas. Here's the flop, a couple of 5s and a 10. Minkin still good.
Minkin originally was thinking med school, changed her mind, decided to try law school for a year, and she loved it.
Informing her rail of the goings-on here at this table. Jack of diamonds changes nothing.
Perlman needs a 9 and a 9 only to knock out Kelly Minkin.
The river card. Another 5, so 5s full of aces beats 5s full of 9s.
Yeah, I have left.
Oh. So Trevor will sit down with just $120,000.
Kelly Minkin, from molecular biology to law school to the main event, working out well.
A nice run so far for Kelly. So for the time being, the honor of last woman standing is still up for grabs at this year's main event. You see some of the past honorees last year. It was Maria Ho, current leader of the Side Action Championship.
That bottom number is disturbing. Only 252 women at this year's main event out of 6,420 entries. Poker's got a bit of a problem if it's not engaging half the population.
Kelly back at it, all in with ace-10, rendering her unbluffable to Mark Kroon with jack-8 of diamonds.
I believe this is the second time Mark has been the last Kroon standing.
Sevens are a good hand, man. You got queens, don't you? Really, Dixon. Go ahead, show me what you have.
Kroon folds.
That was the best hand.
It was 100%. Oh, you had ace jack? No, he did not.
No, I didn't have that.
He never has anything beat.
But I said if I had
Maybe king jack.
I loved it.
Kelly over 1,000,000 chips now. A wink and a smile, and more chips heading her way. She's making a case for herself, but still a long way to go, counselor. An original field of 6,420 hopefuls is now well under 100 players. Dreams of making the money replaced by making the final table and winning almost $7.7 million. Back at Kelly's table, we've got a raise and a call in front of Mark Kroon. Kroon on the button with king 10, and he's going to come along. So now Kelly in the small blind.
I don't know. Depends on what I had.
Oh, really? It depends on what you have. You didn't have much last time you shoved.
All in with the ace-king, over 1,000,000 now. Chips go in. Tom Kearney, ace-8, original razor folds. Bruce Perry now, good friend of Chris Moneymaker.
Well, he was once Chris Moneymaker's roommate, so I believe he's supposed to call here and then eventually win the main event.
And Moneymaker credits Bruce with encouraging him to play in the main event, so thank you, Bruce.
I'm excited. I know. I get to say that.
1,060,000 is the total.
Pocket fives for Perry. Tempted. And he folds.
And this is an easy fold for the sports bar owner from Madison, Wisconsin.
I'd like to see it.
Two tens.
Tens.
Show it. Show it. Show it. Get some respect.
I'm sorry.
No showing.
Uncontested chips are the best chips, just like lunch when Lon picks up the tab.
Hey. Nice addition to her stack. Kelly with nearly 1,000,004 now. They're going to have to take her a little more seriously from a shorter stack 28-year-old lawyer to the big stack of the oldest player, 72-year-old Pierre Neuville with 6 million chips.
Yeah, he played poker when he was young, then he created a toy company, then he sold to Hasbro, and he joined Hasbro.
He just flopped queens up against German pro Anton Morgenstern, who has a gut shot. Neuville raised it up to 560. Morgenstern commits the chips for a call.
Morgenstern could have been a toy executive or a medical malpractice attorney for that matter, but he prefers bluffing at pots.
4 clubs on the turn, no help to Morgenstern. These are the 2 top stacks at this table.
Neuville retired from Hasbro 7 years ago and has made poker his second career.
He checks now to Morgenstern, who was all but a lock to be a November Niner a couple of years back, but came up short.
He was born in Berlin, American father. Anton has dual German-U.S. citizenship.
He is asked to fly the British flag since he's living there now, next to his name, and Morgenstern bets 730,000.
Okay, this is where you want to blow away these young online whiz bangers with a check raise. Make a statement for all elder humans.
Pierre was given the Lifetime Achievement Award at the European Poker Awards recently. And that is just a call, Norman.
48-year age difference between these two.
You'll see a river card, 5 of clubs. You see a 3rd club on board. Neuville checks again. Another check.
Well, Neuville has the best antidote to these young online whiz bangers. Just show down the best hand every time.
He will take it after a very productive flop, building his stack now to nearly 8 million.
The chip leader is 72 years old.
Watching Morgenstern lose chips may be familiar to you. Back in 2013, this player quickly went from day 7 chip leader to out. For Morgenstern, he could probably fold his way to the final table and still have a big stack. and Morgenstern has to give it up.
A classic case of chip leader stubbornness.
No emotion from Anton, but he's got to be dazed and distressed. Morgenstern had 29 million chips earlier on day 7. He now has 5 million.
I know. What is he doing?
When Anton Morgenstern came in with so much confidence, it's hard to believe where he ended up.
In 2013, he was the chip leader with 23 players remaining and busted in 20th place.
He admits he might have gotten a little too cocky back then. We saw Kelly Minkin's survival skills. Here's the only other woman left in the field, Sweden's Diana Svensk.
She was named Young Entrepreneur of the Year in 2012 in Sweden.
With ace-10, she was 4-bet by Tom Canuli on her left in the small blind, holding 2 black aces. Fairly even stacks here.
All in.
You ready to all in? I'll call.
And all in and a call. Svensk in big trouble.
Canoli, an aggressive 23-year-old New Jersey pro. She thought she was best. She is not.
Nice hand.
Wow, so 2 decent-sized stacks clashing and the aces of Canuli ruling right now. Here is the flop. A 10 for Svensk and a couple of hearts.
She's the fashion designer, and he's got the Hugo Boss outerwear. And a prayer vigil forming around Canuli. Svensk still could get a runner-runner flush or a runner-runner straight to stay alive.
There is a heart. Diana now with the flush draw.
She goes from 2 to 11 outs. Svensk will need a 10 or a heart to stick around.
The river card is a blank. Diana Svensk knocked out by Tom Canuli.
She was 65th in the 2013 ladies event, now 83rd in the main event.
So Diana Svensk takes her final walk out of the Rio for 2015. In her wake, she leaves medical malpractice attorney Kelly Minkin as this year's last woman standing.
What is with that tank top?
We continue to track the progress of some of our first-timers remaining in the field. Federico Buderoni hanging around with over 2 million.
25-year-old gained 100 pounds when he started playing poker, then took him 2 years to lose it back.
Andrew Lischenberger's brother Steve really short-stacked. To his left is Randy Klinger, also short-stacked at just over $1 million. Despite precarious positions, there's no question this main event has exceeded their expectations.
I taught for 24 years and just resigned from teaching, and one of my best friends and I just bought a health club, playing it a hand at a time. So just trying not to get involved in bad situations, trying to just watch what's going on and pay attention to the cards and the players and read well. And I'm gonna take it as deep as I can. I'm gonna play as well as I can. I'm playing pretty well. Got to tighten a few things up, but just kind of getting into a routine, trying to get my sleep and exercise in. Goofing off, having a little fun. Just staying loose. Having fun. This is the main event. There's 125 people left. May never happen again.
I've had quite a roller coaster in the last 2 days, but I'm happy that I have 3 million now and I try to continue accumulating chips. This is my first time here at the WSOP, but it just, I don't know, it feels like home.
I started the day with 1 million. I was down to 350. I got it back up to 2.5 million, and now I'm sitting with 1.4. And I'm pretty focused on just playing my game, and I'm not really that worried about the pay jumps. I'm just trying to play the best poker that I can. It takes a lot of mental focus, and it's very mentally tiring.
And no offense to the young guns, but it's guys like Randy Klinger I love to see here. 45-year-old amateur having the time of his life.
Back at the featured table, 70-year-old Bob Buckenmeyer has a nice finish in the main event, 17th in 2012.
How about Buckenmeyer? Degree in geology, a life master in bridge at age 23. He was a young gun in bridge and a 30-year career in product development.
Folded to him in the small blind, ace-9 of hearts. He'll raise it up to 85,000. I'll mention the blinds are at 20 and 40,000 with a 5K ante. Queen 7 of clubs for Pesh de Silva in the big blind.
Suited non-connectors. De Silva can work with that.
Not quite as flush in chips as he once was, just below 2 million now. He'll call for 45,000 more.
Yeah, here's the difference. Buckenmeyer's generation, they went to work. De Silva's generation, he thought about becoming a lawyer, but what the heck, let's play poker.
That misses both players. Rainbow flop, ace high for Buckenmeyer is best.
Buckenmeyer grew up in the real world, Lon. De Silva's growing up in a world filled with fantasy sports, and in a way, poker is a fantasy sport.
Continuation bet as expected, 90,000 from Buckenmeyer.
He's c-betting, though, into the eye of the storm. I like it.
That's the face Pesha is studying for any clues that may influence his next action. And there is a raise from De Silva, 285.
Hey, they raise you, you got to re-raise them. Show no fear. Show them you've got muscle growing out of muzzle. Of course, you are getting a little short stack, so I'd be careful here.
Bob got up to take a look at Pesha's stack. Buckenmeyer with the shorter stack will fold.
Was going to be a lawyer, my butt.
Blind on blind with position. Pesha up to 2.2 now. Buckenmeyer takes the hit below 1 million, moving towards the red zone with just 22 big blinds. So youth trumps experience there. All right, let's get back over to the last woman standing now. Kelly Minkin in middle position with 30 big blinds. She has ace king of hearts, another premium hand. Kelly will raise it up to 90,000. Nick Augustino now.
What is with that tank top?
Pocket fours. I think he lost a prop bet.
Marketing degree from the University of Florida. The University of Florida. Mascot, Gators. Motto, no dress code.
He says all in. Of course, you study marketing, you study how to get attention, and the tank top is working. So fold it around to Ofer Zvi Stern. He gets rid of his hand. Tom Kearney with ace, queen of clubs.
29-year-old Las Vegas pro likes to bowl, my man. Hey, he flopped a straight flush on day 3 of the main event with king 10 of diamonds. He could flop a straight flush here. He should play.
I'd love to see a royal flush. Kearney re-raises Kelly all in.
Well, now she's had 2 people re-raise all in behind her, but I think she's supposed to play. Me, I would fold.
A lot of activity around her original raise, and she will step aside.
Well, Kelly was waiting for a better spot to get all her chips in.
So it's Augustino who is at risk with the small pocket pair.
Watch out for this winner right here.
Kelly telling Mark Kroon what she folded. He seems to approve. Kearney going for the knockout.
What is with that tank top?
Look at this. Feeling hot. Feeling hot.
No 4, but his 4s are still good.
5 of spades. 5 of spades. I'll take a 4.
Augustino with the old wiggle for a 4.
Turn card now is a queen! Kearney now pairs up. Augustino in trouble.
Yeah, and now Augustino needs a 4 or he is wamboozled.
4 ball 1 time.
The river card.
4.
Another jack. Nick Augustino will go home with almost 80 grand after a great main event run here.
Deepest run for a tank top at the main event since Stanley Kowalski finished 29th in 1951.
77th place for Nick Augustino.
And not to be results-oriented, okay, I will be results-oriented, but if Kelly Minkin calls there, she's out of the main event.
Indeed, a tough fold for her with ace king of hearts.
Unreal flop. Unreal flop.
As Tom Kearney stacks his newfound chips, Nick Augustino will head into the Las Vegas night and take that tank top with you, really. Back inside the Amazon room, 76 players remaining. That's just 9 tables. 72-year-old Pierre Nouvel, the man everyone is chasing. Back at the feature table, Pesh De Silva from Katy, Texas. And that's not the Texas flag by his name. He was born in Sri Lanka. He's got pocket 9s. He's going to raise it up to 80,000. Negreanu, ace-7 of diamonds.
He was 11th in the main event back in 2001. This is his deepest run since. He's got a suited ace, but a weak ace in early position. He should fold and have a kale shake.
But he's going to call. It's suited. Ace-jack for Chad Power.
Pretty good hand.
Power will fold.
In the first 33 years of the main event through 2002, a total of 6,270 players entered. This is now the 10th straight year the main event has had at least 6,000 entrants. How did it all change, Lon?
Well, a perfect storm. Chris Moneymaker, Whole Cams, Worldwide TV, Big Money, and dare I say, Norman Chad.
Ooh, you make me tingle.
Chris Horder, 10-5. He folds a small blind in the big. Bob Buckenmeyer, Jack 10.
Buckenmeyer's been around so long, he was 25 years old when the World Series of Poker started.
Does he want to play? Nope, he'll step out of the way. So heads up, 2 early entrants in the hand. Pocket 9s against the suited, ace-7 of Negreanu. And here is the flop, ace in the window. Negreanu takes the lead.
Da Silva started taking C-Bet vitamins when he was 4 years old.
And maybe that was a little too early. There is the continuation bet, a little more than a third of the pot.
Negreanu used to be a young gun. When he won the pot limit Hold'em event in 1998 at age 23, he was the youngest World Series bracelet winner ever at that time.
Hence the name Kid Poker. He does call with top pair. Turn card 5 of diamonds gives Negreanu the nut flush draw, just in case top pair needed a backup plan.
You know, it seems like a lot of these aggressive players bet the flop and the turn and then evaluate the river.
Again, slightly more than 1/3 of the pot. $155,000 to Daniel.
So does Daniel raise here with what is likely the best hand and certainly the best draw, or does he opt for pot control?
His MO is small ball, pot control, and there is just a call.
Well, he saw me touch my right earlobe here in the booth, which means pot control.
All right. Jack of clubs on the river.
Yeah, and Pesh just picked up a straight draw to go with his pocket 9, so he might fire again.
The board is complete.
Happily check.
Check, check.
River to jack.
No, I got better than that.
You're good. I want to see his cards.
He's allowed, yeah.
Fedor wants to look. He's got the right.
But it's rarely exercised.
You're allowed.
I had ace jack, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna call.
Negreanu up to 3.7. Day 5 has been good to Kid Poker so far.
He's nearly tripled up.
Yeah, Silva took it with a smile.
I had a nice turn.
Fold, make top 2, and then
Obrigado.
How many languages do you speak?
A little bit of a lot of them. Like,
as joking.
Well, the price for losing all your chips right now is winning nearly $80,000 in cash. The payout stage is getting smaller. Climb up the ladder could influence play for some. Nearby, Matt Waxman has a big decision with pocket jacks. Ty Wynn shoved his last $500,000 with 6s. Justin Bonomo called with 7s. Waxman has only $1 million to play with and several players after to act.
Well, Wynn all in for just 12 big blinds. Bonomo just calls. Waxman's got to figure he probably has the best hand here.
Uh-oh, both hands in use. There is the shove.
But you know, when 3 players already have pocket pairs, it increases the chances that someone else has a pocket pair. It's simply a question of forensic math.
What is forensic math?
I have no idea.
Fold it around to Max Steinberg. He gets rid of it.
Waxman pushing there with 25 big blinds left.
Button folds in the small blind, Colorado physician Erasmus Morphy. And he's got them all covered with kings.
I rest my case.
You were right. Okay, he says. All right, so he shoves. Big blind Buderoni folds. Back now to Bonomo's 7s.
Well, Bonomo is frustrated here, but this is an easy fold for his tournament life.
And there it is. So now Morphy with a chance for a double knockout. There are the kings. Everyone's in trouble except Morphy.
Well, if Morphy can't watch, imagine Wynn and Waxman.
Right? Who's the rail cheering for, Norman? I can't tell.
Well, maybe it's Woodstock 3 or perhaps karaoke night at the main event.
All right, so Waxman and Wynn at risk. Morphy with the kings, the best hand with the biggest stack. All right, here is the flop. And there's a king. The good doctor sticks it in and twists.
Wynn isn't drawing dead yet, but he just called a hearse to pick him up.
Morphy sitting comfortable with the set of kings. Turn card now is a 10. Matt Waxman's open-ender provides a sliver of hope. Wynn is now drawing dead.
Yeah, so Wynn is done. Waxman needs an ace or a 9. Otherwise, it's a double knockout for the amateur Morphy.
It's a 7 of diamonds. The double knockout complete for Morphy. Matt Waxman is gone, as is Ty Wynn.
Boy, that's how quickly it can be over.
Ty Wynn out in 76 wins nearly 80,000. Matt Waxman 45th last year, 75th this year. Another impressive run for him. Erasmus Morphy now a major operator in this main event. Matt Waxman was almost in great position to chip up, but then he ran jacks into kings. Final 5 tables last year, final 9 tables this year. Great accomplishment, but small consolation. Matt right now is with Kara Scott.
45th last year here in the main event, another top 100 finish for Matt Waxman. Talk to us about the emotion of coming this far and not making it all the way.
It hurts. I feel like I've been playing pretty good poker for the main event the last 2 years. Unfortunately, when the blind just get this high, you kind of got to go with some hands. And I just got jacks in a spot where I was pretty sure I was like very far ahead. It's often that my hand's up against 2 lower pairs, so I just had to go with it. Oh, well, I guess maybe the third time's a charm, huh?
We'll see you next year. Thank you.
Thanks, Kara.
I bet we will see Matt next year. We head back into the field and check on the last woman standing. That is Kelly Minkin. She's been able to keep perspective despite everything going on around her.
When I'm playing in a tournament, I'm just playing each hand as it comes. I'm just looking forward to the next break, and then once I get the next break, to the next one and the next one. Because if you think about how long you're really playing and have to focus and concentrate, it can be overwhelming.
Kelly in good shape at her table, hitting Broadway on the turn. She's got Florida poker pro Alex Toriansky drawing dead with a straight draw. She bets 105,000.
Toriansky attended the Universität des Saarlandes in Saarbrücken, Germany. I believe they are the Boilermakers.
He was born in Moscow, moved to Germany when he was 8.
Well, he likely would end up playing the board in this case, and the board is drawing dead to Minkin's hand.
How about that? So Alex considering things. He started the hand with almost $2 million. Kelly with $1.1 million, and there is a raise to 275.
That is the worst raise I've ever seen, Lon, not including the poker game and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I kid, of course. He's repping the heart flush or a straight. A lot of hands she'd have to fold in this spot. This just isn't one of them.
Kelly processing all the information. Just a call there.
Yeah, actually, she could be drawn dead up against the flush, so she's not going to build a bigger pot right here.
River card. Another king.
Oh, so you got a flush out there, and now the board paired.
She checks.
Will Toriansky posture at it again?
Oh, reaching for chips. The busted draw, he checks back. Minkin will take it. She'll be happy with that result, considering that board.
She keeps looking around for me, actually, because I told her if she wins this thing, we are Reno bound, and we're going to let it all ride on a no-limit Racco event.
So Toriansky, the latest player at this table to give Kelly chips, as Minkin advances her stack to about $1.5 million, which is now about the same as Toriansky. All right, to an outer table. In the middle is Matt Guan with ace-5 of diamonds. He needed less than 1 big blind to call the small end of Steve Lichtenberger. Lichtenberger with queen 10, and now queen's up for him. Guan with a Broadway draw.
Lichtenberger still will be looking at not even 4 big blinds with this double up.
Turn card now is a jack, and Guan hits his straight.
Well, now Lichtenberger will need another queen or 10 to double up.
He's the brother of Lucky Chewy, poker pro Andrew Lichtenberger. Here is the river card now. 6 of diamonds. Guan wins a remarkable hand. Lichtenberger off to the exit in 73rd place.
Lichtenbergers always win and lose with grace.
His brother Andrew finished 18th in 2009, so Big Brother still has bragging rights. Guan over $6 million now.
And Steve's looking around for his brother Andrew, who promised they'd go to Dave & Buster's if he went belly up before midnight.
So we're down to 72. Pierre Neuville still leads with more than $7.2 million. The man in gray, Andrew Moreno, who turned the nut flush. The man in black, Nick Aburisk, who made a baby flush and got raised all in by the man in gray. The man in black is drawing dead.
Well, the man in black, if he were to call here and to win, he'd have more than 60 big blinds. He can't win, though.
The woman in black is the man in gray's wife, Christy Arnett.
God, a lot of colors. They're all gray and black. Now, if Aburisk folds, he'd be left with 22 big blinds. You make a flush with both of your whole cards, you expect to win a big pot. Instead, you're drawing dead and could be going home. So hard to lay this down.
There is the call. Flush over flush. Tough beat for Abu Risk. He will be eliminated in 72nd place.
My sympathies to Abu Risk. We saw Eddie Sabat busting 16th last year with a jack-high flush, losing to an ace-high flush.
Well, Krista used to long stretches on the rail. Andrew with over 5 million. She better get comfortable. Abu Risk bests his previous main event finish of 161st in 2012. You notice the payouts now are up to more than 96,000, and a very happy Christy Arnett on the rail.
Must be nice. He has chips and a wife. I've never had both at the same time.
It's that time of the main event where the eliminations really sting and dreams of big paydays turn into wait till next year. World Series is big business these days, attracting players from all over the world. Kelly Minkin made the short trip from Arizona. She's now over 2 million chips.
And remember, she was down to 400,000, just 10 big blinds not that long ago.
All right, so Kelly looking pretty healthy. Back over to our feature table where past November Niner Matt Jarvis and his lucky sunglasses have pocket sixes in middle position. Jarvis raises to 85,000. Jarvis, born and still lives in British Columbia. Why would you leave there? Neil Blumenfield with pocket kings.
He's got a hat, a scarf, a stack, and a big pocket pair.
He had his stack over 3 million before Negreanu took him for a bunch with aces versus Neil's jacks. Chance to get healthy here with the kings. He's now got raising chips. A re-raise to 200,000. Hoarder. Card dead. Buckemeyer folds his small blind. Pesh his big.
How much you playing now?
A little over 2, I believe.
Jarvis has a hat, a pair of wraparound shades, a big stack, and a trailer park, but not a big pocket pair.
He's going to call for 115,000 more.
Heads up.
Check. A dark check from Jarvis. All right, here is the flop. And a set for Matt Jarvis. Blumenfield could be in big trouble with those kings.
Yeah, the overpair against the set, usually a disaster for the overpair.
And Blumenfield loves that flop. That is 250,000.
Jarvis actually owns 2 trailer parks, so to be more accurate, he has a hat, a pair of wraparound shades, a big stack, a pair of trailer parks, and now a set of sixes.
And he could have all of Neil Blumenfield's chips pretty soon. With that board and his set, this is setting up really nice for Jarvis. Matt using a lot of those green chips.
Check raise from the 2010 November Niner. Well, actually, he had checked dark, but when you get checked raised on the flop or the turn, it's always pause for concern.
Neil pausing, looking concerned.
Yeah, Lon, I just lost count in our 13 years together at the main event of the number of times an overpair goes all in against a flop set and is just out of here.
I call.
Just a call.
Very prudent.
You look up catbird seat, you see the picture of Matt Jarvis right now. As Blumenfield commits the chips. Pot of almost $1.8 million. Turn card ace of spades. Jarvis still good.
Remember, Blumenfield 3-bet pre-flop, so it's got to run through Jarvis's mind. There's a chance the 61-year-old has pocket aces.
So there is the check from Jarvis. Check back. 4 of diamonds now on the river.
And Jarvis has got to figure he's got the best of it now, unless Blumenfield sneakily and diabolically checked back on the turn with a bigger set.
Jarvis. Every color committed, 820,000. And you know, oftentimes, Norman, the amateurs think
how much?
The pros are just trying to push him around in a situation like this.
Well, he's got to put that hat back on. He's out of character. There we go. Blumenfield didn't go all in on the flop. He saved chips on the turn. Can he do the right thing here again? About 3/4 of Neil's stack would be gone if he calls here.
Wow.
Blumenfield making that count right now.
Well, if you've got ace-queen, I got a real problem. I call.
Jarvis shows the winner.
Oh, well, that's not a problem.
What a momentous hand for both of these players.
Yeah, Blumenfield down to 14 big blinds.
And how he didn't go broke, Norman, is a feather in that cap of his.
Nice hand, Matt.
But he is left with just $570,000.
Hey, can Matt Jarvis make another main event final table?
5.3 million chips. Jarvis in the top 10 as day 5 winds up. So just one man now in the main event over the 7 million chip mark as we close day 5. 72-year-old Pierre Neuville, Jarvis in 7th, Tom Canuli right behind him, a fellow Scotsman, George McDonald in 9th.
A 72-year-old is leading with 69 players left? A 72-year-old! I've got to call my 88-year-old father and tell him he won't believe me.
Neuville with a lot of late-night work to bag all the chips that he has to end day 5. On a day that started with 237 players, there was a premium on premium hands.
I was thinking 10s or queens.
Now as we head to day 6, 69 players remain, and just one of them is a woman. Kelly Minkin carries the female torch, trying to become the first woman to make the main event final table in 20 years.
It's possible.
Indeed. For Norman Chad and Kara Scott, I'm Lon McCarran. We'll see you on day 6.